That's it.
Nice sniffle.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, pressure you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
I guess we're live, so we're just watching the end of Avengers Age of Ultron while we wait for the Collision to start. Hopefully it should be good. If nothing else, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the new format. I'm not necessarily expecting like the greatest television in wrestling history, but you know, the hope is that the hope, at least in my mind, is that maybe by switching it up, doing something a little different, maybe it'll give them the opportunity to, you know, kind of just maybe have a little bit of fun. You know, I mean, I don't know how, and I'm hoping we're going to hear something on the format of this, like do wins and losses in Collision impact like stuff on the main roster? Or is it just going to be, oh, we've got a whole bunch of new titles for the main rosters? Or, I mean, for Collision's roster, but, you know, who knows? It'll be interesting to see how they handle this new format.
Yo, this is Wrestling with Savage, and you're live. You're live with Travis, and you're about to watch AEW Collision, and it's going to go down tonight on TNT. You better get ready, because it's going to fuck. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to find out live. You're going to find out with Travis.
I was just saying, if nothing else, I hope we get the answer to one of my burning questions, which is, how does this format work? Are wins and losses in Collision going to count towards the main roster, or how does this work?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to count just like Santa Claus comes down the chimney every single Christmas, and he gives all the little kids their gifts, right?
Hey, I was told as long as I believe in Santa Claus, I get gifts, so I believe in him until I'm 80.
Well, you were lied to.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's the opening.
This is really happening?
WWF, no mercy.
Yeah, I like the Elton John opening, if nothing else.
Wait, it's on TNT. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's opening the show, people. He's opening the show with sneakers on. This is a joke. Hold on, he's getting a pop though, boys.
Wait, what? Yeah, I'm just now past the.
I'm gonna mute the mic so we don't get a copyright for the music.
Yeah. Hold on. All right. United Center in Chicago, Illinois.
Crazy, CM Punk is back on television. I told everybody CM Punk is coming back. All of you.
Well, It's good to see his taste in horrible T-shirts hasn't changed.
Well, listen, your hatred for CM Punk is just going to generate more money for him. Because every time somebody hates somebody, there's 10 people that are going to love him because of that. You're feeding into exactly what he wants. He needs people to hate him. He wants people to hate him because the hate generates love. Just like love generates hate. It's a cycle. So thank you for contributing to the never-ending cycle of life. I hope you're proud, Travis.
There are two haters. These two are haters. Oh, these are haters of Punk. I thought you said, sorry, Jay, I thought you said there are two haters of Punk. I'm like, maybe in that arena, in the world, probably about 2 mil.
This is the professional wrestling business. A business of grown-ups. Not a popularity contest.
Did you say a business of grown-ups? Oh, well, then CM Punk definitely shouldn't be there. Guy acts like a prepubescent child a lot of the time.
You don't know him like that.
Actually,
He's entitled to have a life, isn't he?
I've actually met Punk, and he's an okay guy. He's not like
I met Punk. He was cool. He signed my book, even though it disgusted him. He said, "Ew."
Did he say it like that too? Like, ew, I'm hiding a secret.
Like, ew. He's like, ugh, ugh, ugh.
Johannes, no chance in hell he doesn't have at least a little.
No, he rocks Bret Hart too much.
Hold on, mine's down too low. I can't hear a word he's saying. And that's not intentional. That really is. It's due to down too low.
This is wild.
Professional wrestling business.
It's kissing a lot of ass.
Yes, he would have. He most definitely would have lost that a long time ago.
He's really trying to get the fans, like, hard. 100% trying to be like a...
Johannes wants to know how working with Marty was.
Oh, working with Marty's a blast. It's always a good time. Good time yesterday, good time today.
I'm excited to party with Marty tomorrow.
Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page is going to be on the show. Kurt Angle is going to be on the show. Alicia Fox is going to be on the show. Godfather is going to be on the show.
Dang.
All confirmed. All confirmed today.
You know what? That's a better lineup than Collision is.
Yeah. Shots fired. Listen, shut your ass up because Miro's coming out tonight. God's favorite champion is back, my friend.
Fair enough.
He's the legit.
Hey, and you know what? One of my personal favorites is back in Andrade El Idolo.
Another stud, superstar.
I've met Andrade in real life. Nice dude. Couldn't understand a word he was saying to me. Had to have a translator, but I liked it.
Punk is going really hard trying to get all these fans on his side right now, though, man.
I mean,
they're doing. He's still talking. It's been like 8 minutes. He's still talking. And he's probably not going to have a match. It's going to be the main event. I know that.
you know what? I'm fine with Punk on one condition. Just, Tony, make it clear, no more idiotic political T-shirts from this dumbass who literally probably never even finished high school. So, as long as you do that, I'm fine with him.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, where's he going with this one? Is he getting to something important?
Knowing Punk, 25 minutes of talking, nothing said.
He should have the match and then talk.
Yeah.
I would. I choose. This guy's still just going off. Give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes and he's still going on. Unbelievable. This
Did he just say in a business full of counterfeit bucks? Okay, so clearly he's not going with the whole I'm going to come back as a baby face idea. I think less people hate the bucks than him. So I don't really care about the topic, but
the only people softer than you are the wrestlers in the back. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
The king. He thinks he's the king. And I'm winning $1 million more on the lottery if I hear I can take it.
What is he having that stupid bag?
Now, I will tell you one feud I actually wouldn't mind seeing. I would like to see Punk versus Malachi Black. And no, not just so Malachi Black can get his head off, but I actually want to see that match.
But yeah, he's going right after MJF. This belongs to me. He's not going to take it out of the bag, though. It's just a bag. What? No, now he's talking about his boots.
You should apologize to us for talking for 10 minutes straight now and saying nothing.
All right. Great. He cut a promo without stuttering or mumbling or bumbling. All right.
Well, promo.
As far as delivery and presentation go, he got across his point. He's over here like Santa Claus. Speaking of Santa Claus with red bags, like, you know. Look at him.
Well,
look at him.
Promo work has never been Punk's issue. He's great on the microphone. He's great in the ring. The problem is he needs to keep his personal opinions out.
I like it, but to me, it's such a risk.
What is?
A promo like this right away.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's not lying, though. I'll give him that. He is a star. At the end of the day, we can all sit here and talk shit. But we're sitting here talking shit. We're not on the stage with him. He is. And he's not lying about that AEW championship, Travis. He never lost.
No, he didn't. He just forfeited it with his behavior.
I think the whole thing's a giant work, but, you know. All right. Now, so what are we saying? Lucha Sheriff is really taking on Warlow right now? Is that what's going to happen?
I guess. Sounds like it.
Okay, I'm with it.
Well, you know what? I have to give credit where credit is due. That was a really nice 15-minute segue into a Luchasaurus match. He is a star. I'm not going to lie and say he's not a star. He's just...
he's a fucking star.
He's a star in the same way that someone like Logan Paul is a star. He's a star. He's a star that everybody hates, but he's a star.
Logan Paul is not a star.
Oh, are you kidding me? Logan Paul in the ring is better than CM Punk was his entire career.
Logan Paul's not a star. He's a mega star, man.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just laughing because it's like, well, you know. I mean, Jay, are you just gonna say AEW is going to shit, or are you gonna like jump in here and actually do something? You gonna jump in here, Jay, or are you just gonna talk from like your little hiding corner of the room? Video recap talking about how Christian Cage beat up Arn and Brock Anderson. Would anyone be upset to see Wardlow lose the title to Luchasaurus?
No.
I mean, I'm all for it.
That wouldn't even shock me.
Huh?
That wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, you're like cutting it out, but
Oh, fuck.
I would love to see Luchasaurus win the TNT title, and not even because I don't like Wardlow, although that is part of it, but I just happen to think Luchasaurus is really good, and I wouldn't mind seeing him hold a title.
Yeah.
Although, personally, I also feel like one of the best things they could have done was get Luchasaurus away from friggin' Jungle Boy. I think Jungle Boy is going to end up being the exact same thing as Starks, where it's like, yeah, you had your chance, you couldn't do it, cut it, and now you want us to feel bad for you. Nigel McGuinness, and who's the other dude? So you got at least half of your wish, Savage. It is Nigel McGuinness. That's the commentary.
He's good.
Don't know who the other dude is, but
Kevin Kelly.
oh, Jay, why are you saying back to Rampage? Get on here, talk with us. Don't just sit there spewing back to Rampage. Get on, do something of value.
Look, Jay, Wardlow's getting outside of the ring right now, and he's going after Luchasaurus, while Christian is trying to give Lucha some advice. Wardlow now with the right hand and knee to the gut, bashing Luchasaurus' head into the side of the ring. My God, Jay, what's going on here on AEW Collision? Christian running away like a little sissy under the ring.
Yeah, they're literally just now getting into the ring.
Misses, and Wardlow back on the attack. Wardlow in full control here in this match so far from what I'm seeing, Travis. Can you hear me, Travis?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. Wardlow with the athletic jump on top of the apron. Christian, though, saw that dastardly. Oh my God! That was a big boot from Luchasaurus.
Excuse me, Evil Confessions. I'm gonna put this up on the screen just so we're clear. We are not two dorks watching wrestling. We are two Lord God dorks.
No, I don't even bother. Yeah, that's okay. Of course, we watch professional wrestling. That's what we do. Look, I'm not even home and I'm watching it. That's how much of a loser I am. I am a dork. I am a nerd. I am a loser, but I'm the coolest fucking dork, nerd, loser I fucking know. Who's also a savage. There's nothing. Hey,
I'm like literally the match just started on my end, so I'm behind.
Lucha now picking up speed. Big shot to the chest of Wardlow, showing some signs of anger and pain, all mixed in together as he walks to the other corner. Counterattack now. Wardlow on the comeback. Lucha shuts him down with big time grapple to the face. Multiple shots, sends him flying into the corner. And another big boot, which wasn't impressive.
Hey, you know what, Johannes? If he wants to call us dorks, that's fine. Because, like Savage just explained, love them, hate them. If you're talking about them, you're giving us exposure. So,
no, it's okay. We need the trolls. I like the trolls. We need them. What did I tell you before about you hating on fucking CM Punk? You're generating love. We need him to hate us. That's just going to generate that love for us too at the same time. You have to, anything that ever happens in your life, negative, Travis, that ever happens again for the rest of your life, you immediately take it and you find the positive in it. Even if the positive is negative, then you turn it into a positive.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
You know what I'm seeing as the positive here? I think we're starting to get down a good dynamic of being a commentary team where it's like you're the face and I'm the face and you're the heel.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Except for I'm Punk. I'm willing to.
No, you have your moments of heel where like you're just extremely like if you're going to be a face, you can't be. And I'm not saying you have to. I don't care what you want to do or act like, but you can't. You can't be biased on a certain wrestler if you want to be a babyface. Babyfaces are.
And that is the one thing that's always bothered me about the heel babyface commentary thing is it's like, I feel like you're still going to have your favorites. You're still going to have people you like, people you don't like. It shouldn't have to match up completely with, oh, this person's a face, so I got to like him. This person's a heel, so I got to hate him. That's
no, listen, I'm not saying you have to
I'm saying, like,
but you can't be making comments like, I hope they get injured or I hope they die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just throwing that out.
Fine. I don't hope he gets injured. I don't hope he gets fired. I don't hope he gets injured. I don't hope he gets badly hurt. I'll settle for fired.
Fired?
No, I look, in all seriousness, if Punk can learn how to just keep his like even this promo he cut on the Bucks and say, counterfeit Bucks and all that, even that, good work. But that's something of the business. If he can learn to do nothing but the business on his commentaries and not bring his stupid real-life political opinions into it, I like the Doc guy being back. I just don't want to see any more of his bull crap of wearing T-shirts out to the ring that make me go, this guy is a piece of garbage.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
My God. Oh, let me sit down and actually get comfortable for it.
Somebody had a good dinner.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let me hold the phone like this. This works. That better? Oh, yeah, that's much better. Just right here, I got my feet up. I'm watching AEW.
Got AEW on. Hey, my life's going great. I've got AEW on one screen and Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the other. Let's not bluff. It's a good life.
If I had my chance, I'd be playing some Street Fighter 5 right now. See, that's the thing about Street Fighter. I'll probably play Street Fighter all the way up until like AEW comes out, and that show will be around.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hop on once in a while though. I do like the new one.
I think they did a good job with Street Fighter. The only complaint I have, and it was their first attempt doing it, so I'm okay with it. I feel like the World Tour mode gets a little too grindy towards the midway point, but it's like, again, this was their first attempt at doing this whole open world thing, so, hopefully they learn from this and they make it better.
Big shoulder tackle from Wardlow leading into a spine buster as Wardlow carries Luchasaurus to the middle of the ring, drops him on his back. Now, Wardlow, of course, unnecessary, unneeded, in my opinion. But here he goes to the top rope yet again. All right, we're getting a senton bomb here. Nice camera shot right there. I'll give him that. But he's Luchasaurus up, trips up Wardlow.
I just got him doing a back body drop first.
Christian slaps the apron with disgust. He's very pissed. Now Luchasaurus with a one-handed, almost like a choke slam. Basically just dragged him down from the top rope.
I think they call that a one-handed choke bomb, don't they?
Yeah. You can call it. They have a few things for it. Depending on different names.
Yeah, I'm way behind you because just now doing the whole like.
I'm watching live.
Yeah, well, that's what's weird. I'm watching it live. It says I'm watching on that website.
You live so deep in the woods that it takes an extra minute for the internet to get to you.
One arm choke slam, cover, 1, 2, kick out.
Oh, wow. Wardlow now with a strong attack. Luchasaurus with a big right elbow. Wardlow with a headbutt to the chest. Goes for his full time to get a double headbutt. I don't think that got very dangerous, but it did look good. Wardlow with a big power clothesline. And he's getting hyped up. You get the win?
Do you think at some point they have to do like the whole, is there a guy too big for Wardlow to lift the powerbomb symphony? Or do you think that's going to just be a very protected finisher?
I don't know. For now, it's protected. We'll see if he gets it on Luchasaurus. Let's see. He might.
That's a great idea. Let me do a headbutt to a guy wearing a dinosaur mask.
Yeah. Not really. Yeah, no, it's really not a good idea.
Wait a second. I just missed that. Did it say Scorpio Sky is coming back tonight?
Cool. I'd like to see that.
I'd love to see that.
Christian over here with a steel cage ends up throwing it on the floor. Wardlow calling for the powerbomb symphony. And let's see if Luchasaurus can sit up like the Undertaker or something.
Oh,
it doesn't look like it. Oh, wow. Wardlow rolls him up. Luchasaurus with a big choke slam to cover. Kick out by Wardlow. That's true. Wardlow kicks out right there.
Let's see. Christian's got a steel chair on my end. Throws it down, though, because he knows it.
Oh, Wardlow reverses. Is he going for a tombstone, bro? What are you doing? Oh, that was bad. Power slams. I don't know. I didn't like that. But he did hold them up. Raw power right there. And he had him up for a while. Wardlow now going to the top rope again, Travis. Yet again. Hits the senton this time.
And I have to say, for a man his size, Wardlow actually does have a surprisingly good senton.
Yeah, of course. He does. Christian getting on the apron, playing games with Wardlow, and Wardlow's taking the bait. Lucha tries to make an attack, but Wardlow counters, has him in the corner. Multiple shots to the head. Luchasaurus basically goes underneath. And now Christian with something. Some kind of, is that a microphone? He bounced Wardlow in the head with a foreign object. And now Wardlow has lost the TNT title.
Yes.
Luchasaurus is your new TNT champion. On Collision, and Christian is holding up the title high.
Yeah, I think this was the right outcome to give the title to Luchasaurus while still protecting Wardlow. So
Christian's holding up the title, so I'm with it.
No mercy.
Huh?
Christian's the one holding up the title, so I'm with it. I like it.
Well, I'm sure as weird as this is going to sound, if they let Christian be Christian, he can be a manager heel manager that I think could be on par with Don Callis. I'm not going to say maybe necessarily Paul Heyman. I don't think he'll be that good, but I think he could be a good heel manager.
I think he can be whatever he wants. He has the potential. He's one of the better talents they have overall.
He's an all-time great.
His mind for the business is very good, and it's been around for a while.
He's an all-time great. He was great his first run in WWE. He was great his Impact Wrestling run.
We're getting an interview with Hobbs right now. Let's hear what he has to say.
To who?
Hobbs and QT Marshall are having an interview. Okay, so basically, they're talking about how Hobbs is going to win the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, see, I'm just now getting the Powerhouse Hobbs QT. It's not my internet. It's the actual app that's running behind. Powerhouse is one of those guys who I hope that he can down from the whole TNT thing because this is the man who, in my opinion, is
Miro and Action tonight, baby. Miro. Can't wait to see Miro tonight. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, I mean, if it's about redemption, then it's got to be the Redeemer.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll be back in a little bit. Hopefully with Marty.
All right. You have a good one, man. So, as far as I am, guys, we did see Luchasaurus as a new champion, and we did see the Powerhouse Hobbs thing. We're just now getting more information about the whole. We're getting another commercial for, I guess this is Dynamite. Yeah, I don't know. Three different shows is a little much for me personally, because I mean, it's not like it's like the most horrible thing in the history of anything ever done and blah blah blah. But personally, I just feel like it doesn't fully make sense for there to be 3 shows. What I mean, there's only 2 of you, but y'all can weigh in and let me know what you think. What do y'all think? Would you agree that 3 shows is too many, or do you think that it's like, no, you know, Dynamite, Rampage, and whatchamacallit are good? Because right now it's a commercial break, so I can't really comment on commercials. Or, I mean, I can, but I don't think anybody wants to watch that. I don't think anybody wants to see me talk about a bread commercial. Yeah, see, I agree. I think 3 shows is just, it's too many. Like, at what point does it... We also need, I'm a big video gamer, so I'm going to talk about that also while I'm in the break. I'm a big gamer. One thing I want changed in video games, smarter AI. Like, we've got AIs running these chats and everything, but yet I'm still playing an Assassin's Creed game where the random citizens think, you know what's a good idea? I should attack this guy holding a huge battle axe, even though I'm just a farmer and I've got a tiny little wheat harvester. Like, I don't know. For all of our talk of AI is getting smarter, we don't seem to be seeing that much in gaming. It just seems like, oh, now they've got more idiocy, but you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you, Johannes. I think the right move is to keep Dynamite and Collision and drop Rampage. I don't think... Does anyone... I'm asking this legitimately of you guys. Do any of y'all actually watch Rampage? Like, do any of y'all watch Rampage on a weekly basis and go, man, I'm waiting Fridays for Rampage? No, we're all... Well, I mean... sorry, I said no before I even gave y'all a chance to answer. Does anyone here watch Rampage on a weekly basis? And we're back to Collision, so y'all can still answer in the comments and I'll still respond, but we're back to Collision, so let's see what we got. They're talking about there was a controversial outcome to the TNT title match, which, let's be honest here, I mean, yes, this was actually the right way to do it, in my opinion, because now you haven't put Wardlow's momentum at risk. You're in Germany, Johannes. Nice. I've always wanted to visit Germany, but just never got the opportunity for whatever reason. So, what is this coming out now? I have to keep it low so we don't get, copyright strikes, but sometimes that makes it hard to tell. But so out comes Buddy Matthews. So, by the way, I'll ask you guys this because I happen to really like him, but let's see what y'all guys think. What are y'all's thoughts on Buddy Matthews? I personally think Buddy Matthews is a great performer. I think he was incredibly misused in WWE, and honestly, I don't know that he's being used a whole lot better in AEW. I think, in my mind, and I'm not saying everybody has to agree, but in my mind, I think Buddy Matthews is one of those guys who, in my opinion, is worthy of a world title run. I just don't know that he's ever going to get it. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Johannes. I think that Buddy Matthews should be a main eventer, and I think that if they used people correctly in AEW, we could have had a great match already. So out comes Andrade El Idolo. And yes, I have to pronounce it that way. That's a law. I don't get a choice in that. I have to pronounce it. El. Coming out wearing a interesting ensemble. I actually kind of missed the black mask. That was why he was La Sombra, but, you know. His new mask looks less La Sombra black mask and more, I'm not even sure what to call it. But there he is. Andrade El Idolo.
WWF, no mercy.
I always look at Andrade, and I just gotta think, because you see him walking to the ring right now, and he's got sweat just pouring down from him. I'm like, man, that mask has gotta be, it's gotta be hell trying to walk through all those bright lights and everything with that thing on. Because, you know, people don't think about this, but masks are usually, not always, but usually not exactly what you would call well ventilated. So it's like no wonder he's got sweat pouring down him already, because it's like he has to wear a hot mask on the way to the ring. Welcome back, chance for Andrade. That should tell me. That I'm glad. That makes me think that, you know, at least the fans recognize that Andrade was suspended for absolutely idiotic reasons. It should have been Sammy who got suspended, not Andrade, in my opinion. But, you know, whatever. All right, getting a stare down here. Wait, he said rushed rehab. Was Andrade injured and I didn't know about it? I thought he was suspended after that whole Sammy Guevara thing. Did he have an injury and I didn't know about it? I'm going to put my game on pause. So, shoving contest between the two. Buddy Matthews with a headlock takeover. Andrade with a head scissors. They both get back up. Another headlock takeover. Another head scissors. Andrade doing kind of a dancing, you know, look at me type thing in the ring. Taunting, I guess. We're getting an Idolo chant. Nice. I wasn't expecting that tonight. Shoulder tackle from Andrade. Goes running. Deep frog. Duck. Andrade catches himself on the ring and now does his famous pose, which I absolutely love. I love that taunt. I'm also glad Andrade is going to be playable in the AEW game. I was going to be really disappointed if he wasn't in that.
WWF, no mercy.
Julia. Oh, sorry, trying to cause a distraction by grabbing Andrade's mask. Buddy came in, but it did not work out for him. Andrade with a cartwheel moonsault from the apron onto Buddy Matthews. And a beautiful cartwheel moonsault, by the way. Julia trying to come over and check on Buddy Matthews, and Andrade is not having that. He is not liking her being near him. I can't say I blame him. Matthews trying to create some distance. He shoves Andrade into the ring post and then throws him over the barricade. I'm trying to remind myself not to call the barricades by name because I might get a certain someone who wouldn't like it when I call them something like, say, Ricky the Ring Post, because anyway, Andrade on top of the barricade. Ooh, with a Hurricane Rana that slammed him back into the thing. Hey Jay.
Finally I'm on.
First of all, what you drinking?
I'm drinking Hennessy and Coke. Shout out to Hennessy for being my sponsor.
I can barely hear you. You're drinking what?
Shout out to Hennessy for being my sponsor for tonight. Salute.
Okay. So, let's see. Other than that, well, I gotta give credit where credit is due, Jay. This has been exactly what I thought it would. Andrade and Buddy Matthews are having a really good match right now.
Is this anything new for anybody? I mean, they've been fighting in NXT for God's sakes. It's nothing new.
No,
really.
It's not. It's just people forget that.
They do forget that.
Wrestling fans, and I'm about to get in trouble because I'm a wrestling. Hold on. Sorry.
That's my son right there. Say hello to.
Hi, Jay Jr. I don't know his name, so that's why I called him.
Go ahead.
So, well, hold on. Before recapping, that was a top rope double knee senton from Buddy Matthews onto Andrade, and now it's going to a commercial break. No, you're right. The problem with it is, even though I'm a wrestling fan, and I love it, people forget wrestling fans have what's called goldfish brain. You know, Andrade's not been in the company for, a hot minute. So they're like, oh, well, Andrade hasn't had any good matches in AEW. It's like, no, he's had a lot of good matches in AEW, and we're probably going to continue to see more. Although I didn't understand a minute ago, they said something about coming back after a stint or whatever. I knew he got suspended because of the Sammy Guevara thing. Did he have to go and have a surgery too?
No, they just. Okay. I think he got suspended, and then all was fair, and TK had no plans, and he probably had a difficulty of where can I put Andrade where everybody else on the card, even on Rampage. I think that was the main issue. I don't think it was just because of one little fight. I mean, I think the Eddie Kingston Sammy Guevara fight was way worse than Andrade and Sammy.
Have you noticed Andrade and Sammy, Eddie and Sammy, Hangman and Sammy? I think Sammy might just be a little bit of a problem.
Well, he was around Jericho from the beginning. He thinks he's a prima donna. He thinks he's above all these mint cards, and he thinks he's the shit. But in reality, he has a lot of reps to do.
No, I mean, he is the shit.
He got a little more reps to do. He got to work on his mic skills.
He's
still got
great.
work.
He is absolutely phenomenal in the ring. But yeah, he's got to get some better mic skills or he's not going to make it.
And I still don't love the explanation of how he just went heel to face and face to heel, and now they're coming up with some sort of explanation.
So I have to admit, I personally love that because it seems like your face turn is I'm going to get Darby Allin to give me my face turn. Like, you can't even get your own face turn. You got to get Darby to do it for you.
I wish Savage was here, but Savage is probably watching right now. Savage, tantalizing Tony, is defending that belt. He wants you to go get it. You need to go get it. I was on his show. He's talking trash, buddy. You need to get on his show. You need to get at him. You need to get that YouTube TV belt right off him. Get it off. Pass him the message.
Tantalizing Tony is a bum.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, too late.
He thinks he's somebody important, but he's a bum.
Well, Savage, passing the message, man. He's waiting.
We're back.
He's going to hit the gym. Let's
So
go
a
get it.
minute ago, before we went to break, Andrade was holding his shoulder like it was injured, which I can't. Of course, one of the things that people don't give Andrade enough credit for, he's a great seller. He really is. He's always been very good at selling, like, making you believe. That hurt. But
Yeah, that did. Son is going crazy right now.
all right, so Andrade back into the ring. Buddy Matthews with a lazy kick to the face, and he's smirking like this is entertaining to Buddy, which is interesting because normally you don't see that kind of stuff from House of Black. Normally you see House of Black as being very cold and methodical.
Why is Julia Hart out?
Why is what?
Why is Julia Hart out? Wasn't she outside?
Oh,
earlier?
she's in the corner of Buddy Matthews because the whole House of Black thing.
Why she has to come out though?
Because it's House of Black. We can't. Besides,
you don't need it.
Let's see. Dragon Screw. Another Dragon Screw from Andrade. Ooh, ducks under attempt for clothesline.
You see, this is what I've been talking about, you guys. You guys think that all these guys that come back, and you can see the crowd. Nobody's fucking into it. Everybody's sitting down with their hands, not giving a fuck.
I mean, he
Just
got
little pots here and there. This is what I've been talking about.
He got a welcome back chant, and there was an El Idolo chant. I'm not going to say.
Well, where is it now?
Now
Where
look,
is it
now
look, he just popped back up. Nothing. The only people that clapping up front is basically the Latin American people, right?
No.
With the Mexico flag, that's all I see.
I see more than just that cheering. More than just that cheering.
I
But
gotta
I'll
say, I was right on Thursday. I told you, Nigel, he seems to be an okay fit, but Kevin Kelly was a wild card I never saw coming, and he's freaking perfect.
Yeah, he is. I've always liked Kevin Kelly. The thing about it for me is this. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I agree with you that the crowd was not as into it as I would have liked, but it does not change the fact that it was a good match. I'm just one of those people who goes, who knows? Maybe the crowd was maybe. Ooh, nice Willow's Bell from Slingshot DDT, I guess is what they call it, from Matthews, and Andrade kicks out. The thing is this. You never know. Maybe all these people were tired for cheering CM.
No mercy.
Maybe.
It really wasn't punk they were saying. It was another word that starts with a C.
And how awesome was that? Oh, I guess we'll get into it in a commercial break. But right now, Buddy got something in mind going up top.
Going up top, chop, punch. So what did you? So Jay, what do you think of? Was it the right call to take the belt off of Wardlow in the way they did?
He lost? I didn't even see it.
He lost. Christian hit him with a microphone and then hit him in the head 3 times with the microphone, and then Luchasaurus hit him with that choke bomb cover. 1, 2, 3. New champion.
Well, it had to get off him. I think it was the right call.
I think
that's
it was
the perfect
too, and I
guy
think
too.
that by having it be that Christian interfered and hit him with the microphone 3 times, that still makes Wardlow look strong. It's just, Buddy Matthews going for that running power bomb. That, oh my gosh, did he just hit him with a Judas effect?
No, that's always been his patent back elbow.
Okay, that just looked like a Judas effect, but that's the thing about Andrade. He's so smooth, he can hit it like it's just butter.
Here comes the double knees.
Oh!
What was that? Pump kick to the face?
Yeah.
One thing everybody needs to notice on the chat and everybody watching is that they're giving a lot of time in these lot of matches. I'm telling you, the last 2 matches they've been having, the second match is getting a lot of TV time.
I actually like that.
Is this what's going to happen? Is this probably because the roster's not split and they're just giving maybe people opportunity to show their skills
Buddy
and what it's all
Matthews
about.
going and has locked in a clover leaf, throws him into the bottom turnbuckle.
Ooh.
Let's see. Figure 4 leg lock.
I hate when he does that. I get it. I get why, but that's not his style, man. I just hate it.
I don't know. I think it looks pretty good, but I mean, I don't think that's going to be his new finisher. So I think at most it's going to be a wear down the opponent. They get out.
You don't got to put it in his repertoire. You know what I mean? I get it, but you know, funny how Andrade goes to work and so does Charlotte at the same time, right?
Oh, he's going for a figure 8.
Is this what I'm seeing? Oh, here comes the pop. Now, oh look, there's some fans booing though. I see some fans with thumbs down.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always going to see some fans with thumbs down.
Homage. I will give Andrade that.
That was a good match. I actually wouldn't mind seeing this be the Collision format going forward. Maybe a little less talking and a little more in-ring
I think
competition.
they got no choice. I don't think there's a lot of stars on AEW roster that, you know, I think they want to be a little different. I think they want to see, I think Tony Khan wants to see what he has in his roster, Travis, and everybody watching. You know, you got to see what you have. You can't just give people, you know, re-sign contracts.
Oh, Andrade tries to lift up Buddy Matthews, and Buddy Matthews shoves Andrade. Andrade with his hand out. So do we think this means Andrade is coming back as a face?
I don't know. I'm seeing two heels right now. Makes no sense. Oh, let's see.
I don't know. I think Andrade could be a good face.
They tried that already in Florida. Didn't quite work well.
Oh, lights go out. We all know what that means. More House of Black.
Yeah, more silliness. Here it comes. Here it comes. Somebody's going to teleport out of nowhere.
Well, that's why the blackout lasts so long, is so they can run down to the ring.
Well,
there's Malachi Black with his stupid face paint that makes him look like a idiotic goth version of Two-Face.
or Phantom of the Opera.
There's that famous. You know, every time Brody King does that, I'm kind of like, so is that a thing now? Is it just discus clothesline as a finisher for anybody named Brody?
I guess that's what it looks like. I thought his finisher was that choke neck. This is so stupid, man. I feel like I'm really watching a Rampage.
Oh, man, Scorpio Sky is coming back tonight.
Of course.
I'm glad. I like Scorpio Sky.
But is it too late?
Who knows?
I mean, who are you going to put Scorpio Sky to work with on Collision?
Who do I want him to work with?
Yeah.
Well,
not a one-timer, like a good program. Somebody where you could have a good program.
I'm not going to say Andrade because obviously Andrade is going to have a feud with House of Black. I don't know. I don't see him being a good fit for Miro. I just don't think their styles complement each other. I don't know.
Well, I got to say, the beginning of this show was...
No.
You know why? You know why? Because if the other side is smart, this evens up the score. This is all fair game. They should just dead it right now. I'm telling you right now, it should just be dead. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to just, the other side's just going to keep carrying it. But this also tells me a lot. It tells me that Tony Khan is I don't want to say the P word, but he's a teddy bear, man. He's really soft. He hasn't done anything to resolve this, and the issues are still ongoing, man. It's like
you can use the word. You can use the word because it's what he is. He is an absolute pansy. And
it's sad, man. I'm just listening to this like, damn. But I think,
you remember?
guys, look, in my opinion, it was awesome. I think he evened up the score because let's face it, the Young Bucks and Omega made fun of him in that match. They made all the fun that they had in the entire world, even in their segments. And I think this was a, fair game. Let's move.
The only thing about it is for me is the only thing about it for me is this. Well, I'm CM Punk, and there's a lot of counterfeit bucks and all that. Okay, cool. And coming from somebody with any legitimacy to him, that would be a dangerous thing. But since CM Punk is an absolute douche and nobody cares about what he has to say outside of Chicago,
I don't know. What I got from it is we're not going to see him wrestle a lot. We're just going to see him in creative. That's what it looks like. That's what I kind of got over.
Well, that's probably because if he wrestles more than once or twice, he's going to break something else.
Maybe tonight.
Some guys are just injury prone, and Punk happens to be one of them.
I don't even care about the fucking injury. Just make it good TV. But, I don't really think I don't know if I like that concept. Oh, you got to beat me for this thing. And I don't know. If it leads a program with MJF in August, great. But if it doesn't, then...
The only problem I have with MJF, the whole MJF thing, is didn't we say that we thought somebody who needed to take it off, whoever took it off of MJF would need to be a big star? Here's the problem. In the 5, 8, however many months it's been that Punk has been gone, MJF has cemented himself as a bigger star than Punk.
Exactly, and bigger stars like that need to work with stars, and there's only one star in the company they have, and it's CM Punk, unfortunately.
That is the ugliest team mascot I've ever seen. What is that? Is that some sort of ape or?
I don't know. Well, it's a shout out to this hero, Roddy Piper, but I don't even like the shirt, but I know it's probably sold out.
Oh, Lord. We got Tony Nese's Mark Sterling out here, as if anybody cares.
Just like Rampage, right?
Which is a shame, because I like Tony Nese, but they booked him just as bad here as they did in WWE.
I've been telling you guys, it's not CM Punk they need. They need to differentiate how we're different from Dynamite, and we need a bigger star, somebody that's sides with Punk, not an MJF, somebody that's not even with the freaking company.
I agree with you. Well, and so me and Savage.
Who's the announcer? Who's the announcer? That's a new announcer. She looks new, right?
Hold on.
You see, look, nobody's standing the F up. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We need power to get people into this thing, and I'm not seeing it. And you guys could say that Punk promo wasn't strong. I'll give you guys that, but does Miro need to be fighting Tony Nese now? Do we need to see a squash match?
Yes.
So this is necessary to see a squash match.
I think so, because I think you have to rebuild Miro as an absolute monster.
You don't have to. They just introduced him as the Redeemer. That shit was working before Tony Khan was being. I don't know what the F he was doing with him.
See, I didn't care for his Redeemer crap.
But it worked. That's what I'm saying. It worked. It was something. Yeah. It was better than that best man bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Although that best man bullshit was,
If I see Miro with blonde hair again, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, that I'll agree on. Well, here's the interesting question. Now that she's been officially released by WWE, or didn't sign a new contract extension or whatever, do we see Lana come into AEW?
I don't want to.
I don't
think he needs it. I don't
necessarily want to see it either, but I can see him going, I want to be working with my wife.
If you're going to do this right in front of our eyes, then you got to leave him solo. Don't bring her. And why does she need to come? She does movies. She did a movie with Bruce Willis, for God's sakes. Why the hell do you need to come to AEW?
She did a movie with Bruce Willis?
Yeah, to be movies that we never even heard of. But if you look it up, you'll see that she did a movie with Bruce Willis. Did I see it? No. Why? I don't watch
He's
B
doing
movies.
jumping jacks on the outside of the ring. Miro looking like he's just.
And who does that resemble? That resembles kind of Bryan Danielson type of heel shit.
Well, Tony Nese is a good competitor. It's just he's yet to be booked right. The best booking he ever got was when he was the NXT or the whatever cruiserweight champion, and even then he only had it for like I think a week or so. And you want to talk about a title that changed hands every 2 to 3 days, the 205 championship or whatever it was.
I don't know. I feel like all of us, the fans, I feel we all got ripped off tonight, especially with the Punk in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a pipe bomb. Yes, it was awesome. Yes, I think he even. Hold on. Yes, I think he even upped the score, but was it necessary? Was it not really? If you're gonna try to move on, I don't think you should mention drama, and you need to overcome it. But from what I heard,
but they're not gonna move on. They're going to make that a feud.
In the interview, he did try that ESPN interview. They're saying the reports that he did try to reach out to them, but their lawyers were like, "No, they don't want to talk to you. We can't."
Yeah, because they're gonna. Because I'm willing to bet they're gonna build it into a feud.
But if someone that everybody's calling an egomaniac is at least trying and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you guys," and you guys are doing that, lawyer, nah, we don't want to talk to you. Like, what does that say? How are we solving the issue? How are we making AEW Collision right now tonight good?
Miro with a follow-away slam and a good-looking follow-away slam.
No, he hasn't lost a step. He looks great. He looks in shape. He looks like he's been waiting fucking over a year to fucking wrestle here.
Miro is someone who, in my opinion, is a possible main eventer. But you have to do him correctly.
Unfortunately, can't see him with MJF program right now.
Well, no, but MJF's got to lose that title eventually.
It has to be a star he loses to. I don't know if they're gonna do that Punk thing again, but it will be what's must see TV.
Catches him and boom, down with the side. I'm not even sure what that was. That wasn't a sidewalk slam, but it was. Now he's like doing his looking up thing.
Sidewalk Muinagi slam.
Here comes the Machka kick. Are they still calling it that, or what are they calling it now?
I don't know. I didn't hear no call.
And now
they were just commentaries were like, "Whoa,
game over!"
He's not even hurting him, for God's sake. Oh God, it looks so fake the way he does it. I don't know why. Man.
Well, I mean it does, but here's the thing: it's one of those things where
so fake.
I've always liked the way Miro does it because it kind of looks like it's hurting, but at the same time, it looks like you can tell he's obviously protecting his opponent so he doesn't hurt him. I think Miro is one of the best in-ring workers in the business today. So I don't know if you were here earlier or not when me and Savage were saying this. One of the number one things that needs to get cleared up about Collision for me and him both is how does this work? Do victories on Collision put you in line for a title shot on Dynamite, or are they going to have new titles of their own, or how's this going to work?
Well, that's what I'm saying with the Punk and the red bag. I'm a little confused at it because what is that? What are you trying to say here? Like, what are we doing? Like, are we running it back? Are we keeping this belt just for Collision and then MJF is just going to stay in Dynamite? Like, what?
You know what?
Clarify.
You look at him, and I wonder a serious question here, Jay, and I'm not condemning people that have them, but you think there's anywhere on his body left that doesn't have a tattoo yet?
I think.
Except his face. And
like
honestly,
maybe like his rib cage.
And honestly, if CM Punk tattooed his face, I'd consider that an improvement. So,
you see, I don't understand why I'm watching this video. Like,
you're watching this video because
everybody thinks he's gonna go in there and he's gonna start. He's not gonna start this match. It's just not gonna happen.
No, there's no way he starts this match. Or if he starts the match, he's going to tag out very quickly.
I don't know, man.
Oh Lord,
I'm worried right now. Just watching this.
Is it not bad enough we have to deal with these idiots on freaking Dynamite?
I always say I like the Outcast, but one thing I hate is what Tony Storm is holding in a left hand, and that's that stupid fucking spray paint that I said they need to get rid of from day one.
Jesus. The only time a spray paint, in my opinion, the only time a spray paint thing has been good has been the NWO. Even Trey Miguel, who admittedly is very talented, and I did think he was a good heel, even his spray paint thing didn't really work. It's like the NWO did it, and now, like the Outcast, spray that L and spray it on this and all that. Like they're trying to do like a women's NWO, and the problem with that is whenever you go, well, let's do a women's version of this, what you're really doing is let's do a crappy version of this.
Oh my God. Jesus.
What?
You're telling me this is not a Rampage match? So, coming down to the ring slowly, but trying to walk fast, Widow Nightingale.
Yeah.
The person that is the champion that they call the Audible, which would have been Mercedes Moné, and we would have probably had a great match next week.
Well, here's a question for you, Jay. Do you
There we go. Hold on. Travis, one of the people that cannot read a promo or a segment and is probably dumb is Sky Blue coming down the ring. 11-8. Go ahead.
I mean, I think you're a little harsh on Sky Blue. She's still green.
You need to see RJ City interview with Sky Blue, and you will see how dumb she is when she's reading a promo. She cannot read. But go ahead. What is your question?
She is... Well, the question I'll ask, basically, the shortest version of it is, do you think that what we've seen from tonight on Collision only further proves what we've said, which is y'all need to get rid of Rampage? Do you think...
Don't get rid of Rampage, you said?
No, that they do need to get rid of Rampage.
Well, I'm gonna say this to everybody, including you. This is a updated version of Rampage Collision in my eyes. What I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's no offense to the people that came back. I think they all
Who's this
great.
random woman slapping people?
I think everybody looks great. The thing is that it doesn't. You have to look at the crowd, and not everybody's into these matches. It doesn't even do it. You know what I mean? They're just glad their favorites.
I'll say this: and we only got one person watching us. So worst case scenario, I lose this one person at the moment. But I'm going to say this. You said not everyone's going to cheer every match, and some people aren't going to be into every match.
And I'm going to agree. And I'm going to agree with. I'm agree with you. Like it's just an updated. For me, it's an updated version of Rampage. And
yeah, I agree.
And yes, you have to put this on Friday, get it out of Saturday, because in 6 to 8 months, it's not going to work. There's going to be pay-per-views and football.
The only reason I don't think they're going to
be watching this.
I could see them getting rid of Rampage, keeping this on Saturday, and the only reason why I see them keeping this on Saturday is they paid. I guarantee you, they paid a lot of money for Elton John to be the one that opened that show.
Right, but I can't see them getting rid of this till like when the fall hits, and that's when shit is gonna hit the fan. Because when you have football and everything coming back, it's like, how are we gonna get the AEW fans that also watch sports? How are we gonna get them to not watch their favorite college football game or their favorite football playoff game and make them watch our product? It's hard. It's very hard.
For people who like that stuff, it is going to be hard to convince them. It's not going to be hard for me because I hate football. I hate basketball.
You got UFC. You got boxing. You got a lot of things on Saturday.
This and UFC are literally the only two sports I watch. But
you see what I mean?
I agree with you. For the people who like that kind of stuff, this is going to be a very hard sell over, hey, watch your college football team.
It's going to be fucking short. But right now, Storm's getting the upper hand on Willow. I never been impressed with Willow. I thought she had her moments, but then she goes back down the drain for me. I don't know. I know she's the champion, but let's face it, that match was all Mercedes. And it was an audible they called in the ring. And unfortunately, gonna not see the dream match that we want to see. Mercedes fight with Tony Storm.
So here's the thing, Jay, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but here's the thing. I am not necessarily opposed to audibles like some people are. Sometimes I think, okay, do I wish that we didn't need the matches? Yes, but I'd rather a person call an audible to make sure nobody gets hurt than not call the audible and get hurt. No, sorry,
I don't mind it. I just know that people at that show were like, damn, like we didn't want to give it a Willow, but
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind, and the fact that Mercedes kind of helped campaign for it to be Willow.
And you know, we had people on the show like Vicious Vicky and all of them that know Willow and everything. Look, I'm not knocking Willow. I'm sure she's talented, way more talented than me in the ring. But overall, I just don't think you're ready to just hold championship gold because I can't see a person like Willow leading a match. I just don't see it. I don't see. Look, I'm looking at the body movement right now. Ruby Soho, amazing elbow shots, but just the body language is telling me Sky Blue. Look how she's standing in the corner. She's not even holding that little rope just to get a hot tag. You got to make me believe. You're standing there like a little ditzy, little dump to me. Like, come on, make me believe in you, for God's sakes. Why doesn't she look at the fan and be like, come on, guys, let's go. Come on, Willow, shit. Get me involved. Get me hype. I'm a fan. I paid my hard-earned money to watch you do what?
Yeah, I'll agree. And on top of this, I'll also say this. Willow is still green. Are you still there?
She's green, but she's way better than Sky Blue.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing that is big for me. By the way, these commercials right now that we're seeing...
Fucking torture.
Yeah, these are the kind of commercials I absolutely freaking hate because you can get this... You'll get this Switch... You can get this Switch or PS5 for 50 cents. Yeah, all you have to do is sign over your free kidneys.
And they steal your fucking whole shit and your identity and your fuck.
Exactly, and it's like, to me... But, hold on. Sorry. I just had to step up.
You want a PS5? Go buy it. People buy it in store. Don't believe that deal bullshit. I don't believe that bullshit. Overall, I mean, let us know, guys, what you think about CM Punk return and everything. No,
I agree completely. I wanted a PS5. That's why I went out and bought one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I got lucky with mine, so I just caught it. I actually got mine the release of God of War. I didn't get the God of War one. They just had a restock, and I was like, oh.
So are you a fairly big gamer or not really?
No, I am, but I'm more like a PS guy. I have my Switch too, so I have my Switch.
So like, give me three game franchises you like.
What, out of the PS or just anything in general?
Just anything, just three.
Man, that's number one. So
you're a big wrestling fan. I agree.
Oh, Resident Evil. I'm big.
Oh, Resident Evil. Yeah.
I'm actually playing 4 right now, so. But I kind of stopped. I don't know why. Maybe because I beat it so many times on the GameCube. Like, whatever.
You know, as somebody...
God of War, you could say is good. Mm-hmm. But I'm more like the horror. Like, I always love, Final Fantasy. They do it for me, too. I always love Final Fantasy Tactics. That was always my shit. But not a lot of people talk about that.
So, here's a question for you. What do you think about Final Fantasy 16 being so action-oriented and so political?
I don't know about political and all that, but for me, from what I saw today, I mean, the gameplay looks amazing. I think.
Yoshi P himself said that one of his main inspirations was Game of Thrones and how political it was. So that's why I'm saying.
Is that why he was like making all these like monsters bigger than we ever seen them?
Yeah.
And you have that flying, what is it? Like 3 or 4 headed, whatever creature, whatever. I was watching that. This guy like Clyde battling. I was like, what the fuck? Like some flying fucking 4-headed, 6-headed shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to get Final Fantasy 16. It's not that I'm not interested. It's that there are so many other games this year.
Yeah, there is. And a lot of remakes, too. I'm still waiting for that Prince of Persia. I'm kind of screwed that they delayed that shit.
Did you not hear about what's going on with it?
Well, I heard they did it, and then they were like, "Nah, we don't like it. We just want to do that shit all over."
They said at the moment they have scrapped it completely. They're rebuilding it from scratch. So
they didn't like it. They're like, fuck that.
I think we're gonna see something about it this year, but I don't think we're going to. And the reason I feel like we can talk about games right now is because it's the Outcast. Who cares?
I mean, I'm just waiting for Sky Blue to get this tag. I'm making another drink so I can laugh at her and call some spots.
Oh, Sky Blue's already in.
Here. Oh, look, she's in the ring getting what she's doing is best selling.
And here comes that stupid spray can. Wait a minute. Did they actually just factor the spray can into a match finish for once? That might be the first time they've actually ever used that spray can.
First of all, why are the referees not doing anything about it? Why is he letting it all play out?
Oh, because AEW has incompetent.
And that's something that's bad right there.
Oh, Sky Blue winning with that obvious pop rocks.
Oh my God, they gave the dummy a win. Holy shit, man. This girl said something in that promo with RJ City. She said,
so let me say this.
Black. No, she said something, I'll make you black and blue because I'm blue. Sky blue. I thought that was the dumbest shit I have ever heard in a fucking interview. You got to hear this interview. She's really like dumb.
No, I've heard it. She's terrible.
Like she has, to me, when I heard it, I was like, this girl, not for nothing, has nothing to offer the business. Like, what is she? Does she even know what's the business?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this the nicest way I can, Jay. Me and you will probably never see eye to eye on Roxanne Perez. But I look at Sky Blue.
Never.
Look at Sky Blue, and I see a crappy Roxanne Perez.
No, that's like an insult. You got to be kidding me. The first ever Ring of Honor Women's Champion in that tournament, especially in the semifinals, where she knocked one of the greatest Impact Women's Champions, Angelina Lopez. You got to be kidding me. Crazy.
Fair enough.
Crazy.
Here's the question I have for you, though.
Here comes Ricky Starks' little promo package over here. Go ahead.
So,
shout out to Owen Hart.
I'm curious to know this. See what you think. If Deonna Purrazzo comes to Impact, if she comes to WWE, do you think she goes straight to the main roster? Or if she goes to AEW, do you think they put her in the women's world title hunt?
I think at this point, you will have to put her in the main roster just for the fact that she's been with the company twice, and her last run was in NXT as the Virtuosa, I believe. Mm-hmm. Now that she's more established after that, which I believe she truly got more established after that, I would put her in the main roster. The fact that some people will know her, and I would probably have her team up or fight Chelsea Green, to be honest.
Yeah, as somebody, just me and you talking here, I think the other reason you have to put her on the main roster is look at her. There's no way she goes into that developmental brand. And look, I get that you like her. I get that you like her. I'm going to say this, but I'm really not trying to bash. But like Deonna Purrazzo is years ahead of a Roxanne Perez, of a Tiffany Stratton. She is, in my opinion, probably the best woman wrestling today. And I feel like if you put her in NXT, we're just not going to be able to believe, Tiffany Stratton's going to out wrestle Deonna Purrazzo.
She was a fighter before, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was like an MMA fighter, so she had the background skills more than a Roxanne Perez or a Tiffany Stratton. So, yeah, she's light years ahead. I'll agree, but for me, when I look at NXT and their roster, mm-hmm. Roxanne Perez had it all. They took it away. I think the injury is something that we are never going to know what really happened. It's disclosed. It's confidential. And it's to the point that creative is like, or officials are like, you know what, we can't give this woman a belt because it might happen again, and they're scared. And we've seen this before with Daniel Bryan, so it's nothing new to me. But I mean, for a person that could sell, that could work, that can actually get the other person a little over, because let's face it, when she was face to face with Tiffany, she got Tiffany a little over. I mean, it works. Roxanne Perez works.
We know this because we've talked about this, me and you. Not a huge Roxanne Perez fan,
I get it.
But I'm reminded of what Wade Barrett said when Karrion Kross came back from injury in NXT, and I agreed with him. No, it was when he relinquished the belt, and I agree with him. He said, that is an absolute heartbreaker. He goes, if you see a person injured with any kind of injury that's going to take them out of action, and your first thought isn't, my God, I hope he or she gets better, there's something wrong with you as a human being. And I'm like, I actually agreed with him. When Roxanne Perez got hurt, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I hope she's okay. Oh, yeah. Lord. Are we having to watch Jeff Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe promo? I love Jeff Jarrett, and I like Mark Briscoe, but how is this doing any good for them?
And anybody that's watching this, I want you guys to tell me right here live if you're going to watch it next Saturday, because I'm sure not. I will not watch
next Saturday? I probably will.
Next Saturday live. This can't, if it's going to be like this, Travis, this is fucking torture for me right here.
Yeah, the constant promo crap is pretty terrible.
Well, the rumor is that Punk is behind the creative in Collision, and they said that he wants people to step up. Like, you're not going to get TV time if you don't step it up. That's what.
You know what? I have a better idea.
I actually like that idea, by the way, because it makes people like that have the potential, like Ricky Starks, to step the fuck up. So
yeah, I mean, I get that.
I kind of fucking like it. Here we go. The Acclaim coming down because they've been booked badly for the last month. Here we go.
Hey, I got a rap for them. I'm terrible at rap, but I got one. You ready?
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter what you do. The Acclaim think they're so great, but let's face it, they're a less talented New Day.
Savage might not like that. That's his boys and Guilts too.
I don't care.
Boys. They're not my boys because I never met them. So
you know what?
Maybe if I met them, they'd be my boys. But
you know what? Just as me and you are going to disagree on Roxanne Perez, me and them may disagree on the Acclaimed. But that's okay. There's nothing that says all of us can't still discuss wrestling and what we like and go, but I don't like this guy and you don't like that guy.
We're not saying these guys don't have the potential to be something. It's just they've been put badly for the last month, and I always said that.
Honestly, I just find the whole gimmick obnoxious.
They should have never lost the belts. They lost to the Guns, and what did that do for the Guns? Nothing.
Except for put them in a feud with FTR.
Then they're taken off TV. I don't know if they're going for their trios championship. I don't like it.
Yeah. That is, by the way, Billy Gunn, I have to say, that is the worst thing I think I've ever seen a man over 30 wearing.
Well, Billy Gunn has done worse. Let's not talk about Chuck Palumbo, for God's sakes.
Let's not talk about what?
Chuck Palumbo. He has done worse things. Come on, let's be real.
Fair enough.
Everybody forgot about Chuck. Billy and Chuck. No mercy. Guys, Tony Schiavone's actually doing something smart. He's actually staying in the freaking ring, holding the mic for the baby.
Do I really have to? They just said the claimed on Wednesdays and Saturdays. What, one day of these losers isn't enough?
I still feel Anthony is more talented than Max. I'm going to say it. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I don't think I am.
No, I agree with you. I think Anthony is more talented in the ring. Max is the one with all the,
Yes.
rap, but Anthony's better.
When I first saw them, I always thought Max had it more, and then when I don't know, like Anthony, I just feel like he improved so much. Like he's been working on his craft while the other one's just been chilling.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I will admit about these guys, even though they have the whole "is me" and all that crap, one thing I have to respect about them, and I'm gonna hit maybe a little bit of a hot button issue, but you know how, have you seen how lately before Impact they've been doing these whole like specials on, here's like what Josh Alexander's story and all that is, right? At least with them, I don't have to worry about their personal lives all the time. I watched the one for Alexander. It was interesting. I watched the one for Giselle Shaw, unfortunately.
Everybody, don't adjust your TV. Tony Schiavone just scissored with the guys. Probably possibly the worst thing we saw in AEW Collision tonight.
Yeah. But here's a question for you. What's worse? The Tony Schiavone scissoring or the fact that we're going to have to watch Scott D'Amore in a match?
Look at this. What is this match that you want us to cover Wednesday? Action on Johnny, where the hell is he been at?
And what the shit is this? Why are we talking about Ring of Honor?
Oh my God! It really. Who the hell is that? Sonny Kiss?
Yes.
This is what I don't even watch Ring of Honor because I don't have this Ring of Honor whatever, so I don't even know who's on it. But it looks like Action Andretti and these guys are superstars down there.
Now that could Chris Statlander versus Ty Valkyrie. That could be a good match.
You see, this match is too soon. I think this is like a pay-per-view match. I would have not done it so fast.
This one is
without
see,
even
this right here. This match right here. Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre. Another one.
I don't like tag matches. I like solo Cassidy versus Sabre, but overall, that Taya Valkyrie, they didn't even explain to us how she turned heel. Like, hello, let's not forget, people. She was a baby face. Like,
did you see that though? We're gonna have Jeff. I should still be in jail. Hardy next week.
Jesus Christ. You know what's funny? He moves faster in the video game than he does in real life. This guy is done. I'm telling you, Tony Khan has signed a contract for the Hardys to kill themselves on TV. Like, they can't even run no more. No offense to them. Not knocking what they did for their whole lives, but Jesus, you gotta just give it up, man.
Yeah.
All that high-flying shit, it gets to you.
Well,
look at Mick Foley.
Look at what they're
even walk, for God's sake.
Look what they're doing with him, which I think is the right move, by the way. Look at what they're doing with Christian. Christian is obviously going to be Luchasaurus' manager. He'll still have the occasional match, but for the most part, he's going to be a manager. This is the right thing to do. Having the Hardys compete weekly in tag team matches is the wrong thing to do.
And look who turned into a manager on WWE, Jinder Mahal. Look at that. He turned into a manager perfectly.
Yeah, I like Jinder Mahal as a manager. Up next, the main event where CM Punk will be in the ring for all of 5 minutes and people will go ballistic.
This is what we're going to critique really hard about because he actually picked these three guys to have battles with. So this I want to see. Like, I want to see. This will determine everything tonight. Where is we going? Where is the direction going? Right now, it's just hard, man. You know why it's hard? It's because the AEW roster, they haven't stepped it up, man.
So here's the thing. Let's just go with this. It's going to determine what we think, where we go forward, and does anybody give a shit about Collision?
Travis, the only thing we give a shit about on this show, just like everybody that watches this show, is Kenny Omegas, the Zack Sabre Jr., the Bryan Danielson,
your Will Ospreays.
We only care about big name stars, but what about everybody else? What about a Warlow? We never hear us talking about this show. Oh my God, Warlow was crazy, right? When he came. What about a Ricky Stark? Yo, Ricky Stark did that. That was insane. Yo, Powerhouse Hobbs did this. Yo, that was crazy. We don't talk about it because the way everything is booked.
Look at the end of this Wednesday night. What was everyone talking about? Will Ospreay. Even though, and I love Will Ospreay, but even though MJF and Adam Cole put on an absolute banger of a match, everyone was talking about Will Ospreay. Because that's what they do. AEW goes
and look what they did. They finally got Eddie Kingston out of the Ring of Honor shithole, and they bring him back to Dynamite. And what they do with him? There was no explanation. Is he with Moxley? Is he not with Moxley? They cut it so fast that they just had you on Ospreay, and that's all everybody was thinking about. Will Ospreay? Oh my God, man! Did you see the knee trigger that make us think of Ospreay? Oh my God, man! Oh, it was crazy.
And look,
what happened to Eddie Kingston? He had a big pop when he came out. Nobody gave a shit.
Well, and look. I love Will Ospreay. You will never.
We know you do.
You will never get me to say a bad word about Will Ospreay. But with that,
you do.
With that being said, if you don't like Will Ospreay, but you like Roxanne Perez,
I never said I like Will Ospreay. I just don't see your Kingdom shirt right now. I see the Undisputed at a Cole shirt. I don't.
Well, that's because I haven't. That's because they only just opened up the store that lets you buy.
I will be off camera, but I will be here. So go ahead.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Guys, for anyone watching and wondering, like, a Collision thus far. It's not bad.
Be fair. Be honest.
About what?
About Collision. You could say it's trash. Go ahead.
No, I would give it exactly what I said. I'd give it a B- probably. It's not terrible. I enjoyed the Andrade versus Buddy Matthews match just like I thought I would. I actually did enjoy the Wardlow versus Luchasaurus match, and I'm glad of that outcome. But the thing is, once again, you're having the problem I have with a lot of the Rampage stuff. It's like it feels like it's just another B show. It feels like it's going to have no impact on Dynamite, and if it has no impact on Dynamite, then it has no impact at all. Jay, let's be honest here. Dynamite will always be their main show. So if this has no impact on Dynamite, it has no impact at all, period.
Well, here comes two guys that we still don't understand what Bullet Club Gold means in AEW because there's no explanation. But two guys that are talented. I won't say they're stars because they're not, I guess, in the U.S., but
Juice is a mid-star, but Jay White is a huge name.
Not in the U.S.
No, in the U.S. too now.
He's just a regular.
No, ever since he was champion coming over here, he became a bigger name. But there's a big name here in America.
This guy has a belt, and he hasn't been on TV for how long? What the F?
Well, he's the Ring of Honor World Television Champion. So
I'm sure he wasn't on that show a lot either. He was doing that Twisted Metal show.
Yeah, I'm not a Twisted Metal fan, so I'm out.
I am, but I think his character is a little goofy to me in the trailer. So
Sweet Tooth?
Yeah, like Sweet Tooth wasn't like that. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know about that, but whatever.
Hey, you know what? At this rate, I'm just glad it's not a show where they went, let's do this. Let's make Sweet Tooth a female character. I'm just glad they didn't do that crap.
I'm just... Okay.
So I'll go ahead and tell you. So I'm a big history buff. So the two big games I'm excited for this year, Spider-Man 2, and I'm actually excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage because it's actually one of the
me too.
It's actually one of the only time periods I actually know very little about.
That and I'm actually looking forward to that Silent Hill 2 remake. Whenever that comes out,
I'll keep an eye on it. I'm a little worried because it's Blooper Team, and Blooper Team has done some kind of not very good games. They're just kind of dead.
See, we'll see.
But you said you do like horror games?
War games?
Horror games.
Yeah, horror survival games. Yeah.
So I know you said you're playing Resident Evil 4, and it is good. But I will ask you this: have you played the Dead Space remake yet?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to get it, but I haven't, man.
as somebody who bought and played both of them in the respective weeks they came out, I actually would say Dead Space Remake was better than 4.
Shit. That 4 is really good. Like
it is really good.
It really gets me hooked. Like shit.
I want to smack that dude in the face.
Today I was playing Survivor, and it felt like an hour. I was playing for like 2-3 hours. It felt like an hour. Like that's how into it I was.
Oh yeah, Jedi Survivor was a great game.
It gets me hooked, man. I'm like, just can't stop. It's like,
no, I'm the same
let's keep going.
I was that way with it, and I was also that way with the first Spider-Man, which is why I think I'll be that way with the second one. But I can say this. Jedi Survivor, like, I beat the game, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and 100% all the planets, right? Turned out I only had one planet left to 100% because I was just that engaged in exploring stuff that I'd already done it all.
Yeah, I do a lot of exploring too, man.
Honestly,
I was in that forest temple level for like fucking 2 or 3 hours, man, exploring.
Yeah. Honestly, that right there, that is what more open worlds need to be like. Like, it shouldn't have to feel like I'm going 3 hours without seeing anything. I need to be running into stuff so much that I'm like, wait, 3 hours has passed?
That's why it's, before we get into that, that's why it's always necessary to do the shortcuts.
I mean, look, it's like that's what made Skyrim so popular was the fact that you couldn't go hardly 10 feet without discovering something new.
Yeah, but this is the test. This is what we all been waiting for tonight. This 6-man tag. And like I said, Punk is not starting the match.
Jay White and Dax Harwood starting out. That is Dax Harwood, right?
Yeah.
I always forget which one's which. You know what Dax Harwood always looks like to me?
What it look like?
I look at Dax Harwood and I'm like, why did somebody put a really stupid mustache on Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Oh, that's bad. Savage would have teared you up right now for saying that.
I like Dax Harwood, but I mean, he's bald and he's got a really bad mustache.
Okay, shoulder tackle.
So Jay, are you gonna? This is a really random question, but are you gonna get Fight Forever or probably not?
I think I am.
I think I am.
Just for the fact that I keep seeing new gameplay and new things they do. Like, I didn't know you could destroy the LED stage on. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until they showed it.
Yeah, and it looks cool, man. Even like I saw Jeff Hardy today. I was like, I'm not a Jeff Hardy fan, but the moves he's doing there look fucking awesome.
I was a Jeff Hardy fan up until that infamous Turning Point 2011 thing.
Oh, the TNA?
Yeah, where he showed up to the match high. You know this. I'll say this. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this new upcoming Fight Forever, it reminds me so much of No Mercy," and I think that's a good thing. But you know what? Some guy pointed out today that I thought was interesting. He goes, "It is No Mercy." He goes, "But here's the other thing." He goes, "It's also reminding me of WWE Day of Reckoning," and I was like, "Oh man, somebody other than me remembers that game." It's like that was one of the good ones.
I don't remember that game. I try not to.
Day of Reckoning was actually pretty good. It had some flaws, but it's one of those scenarios where he said this, and I agree with him. He's like, WWE Day of Reckoning walked so that Fight Forever could run. And I'm like, that's not a bad way of looking at it.
You know, not for nothing, but I'm going to say Juice is more talented than Jay White in the States.
Not for nothing, but you're insane.
Am I? His promos are way better than Jay.
No, Jay is definitely better than Jay.
What? Juice has the face, man. When his eyes boggle, like.
Have you watched?
Look at that. Look what
have you watched New Japan Pro Wrestling? No,
yes,
there's no question.
I have watched Juice Robinson.
There's no question. Jay is more talented. Here's the thing. I said
in the States. I didn't say overall. I said in the States, Juice is more talented than Jay White.
I don't even know if that would agree with that, but I'll say this.
I just feel like overall he's outperforming Jay White in every way.
I'll say this.
Selling, facial expressions, the promo, the segments, the way he carries himself down the ring.
I'll say this. I do not agree with you But I will say this: I think that Jay is more talented, but I think that Juice does better in-ring chemistry. Like when just then when he was like, "No, get him away!" Like you really believe like he was scared of him.
But look at it, everything is so smooth. What Juice Robinson is doing right now, nice body slam by. Look at that. I love that shit. He just snot his nose all over. I love it. Look, even Samoa Joe is laughing right there, smiling.
I like.
It's
well,
good.
Joe. See,
And
Joe
his
is one of those
crazy outfits. Juice always has those crazy outfits.
Yeah, fair enough.
He really pops.
Here's the thing. Joe has always been one of those
Look at
dudes who people look at Joe and go, "Oh, he's this big, tough guy. That's all there is to it." It's like, no, there's way more to Joe than that.
Here comes Cash really holding up Juice, dropping him down.
Tags in CM Puke, or does he? Yeah, he tags in CM Puke.
I always said it was a hot tag. It's just not time. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. We're about to see the return of CM Punk. Here it comes. Double suplex? Oh, no?
That was dangerously close to you didn't have to see CM Punk.
What is CM Punk wearing? I can't understand that.
I
What
can
is
tell
that
you exactly
graffiti?
what he's wearing. You ready?
Puke?
It's called...
Oh, so this is lovely. Wednesday in Chicago, Dynamite is there. Will we see CM Punk? Will he get the big pop like he has? I want to see them go to a different state. I want to see the crowd reaction where he gets overall.
Oh, I'm telling you, man.
I'm not.
I'm telling you this.
I'm not.
I'm telling you this. Where I live, Texas, I guarantee you, if they come here and Punk is on that, he is getting booed out of the building. Texas hates CM
There
Punk.
we go. Rivalry.
Oh man,
only
this
the
is
few
a
know.
good. This is a good flashback.
Now, should this be the first program he could work with? I would
Him
like
and Samoa Joe, I'd be
I
for
would
it.
love it.
I'd love it.
Not a lot of people know it. You could retell it. You could get a lot of good time off it. A lot of people will be drawn.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe doesn't hold back. He talks shit. Let me tell you, that Great Balls of Fire match with Brock Lesnar, one of the best Samoa Joe matches I've seen in WWE. He has there.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This right here, what you have is, if I remember correctly, which I could be wrong, but I think you have the first Ring of Honor World Champion and one of the longest reigning Ring of Honor World Champions. So if it's done,
I always thought it was Nigel, the longest.
It was what?
I always thought Nigel held the belt the longest.
I didn't remember Naito being a Ring of Honor World
did
Champion.
Bryan Danielson beat that record? Maybe Bryan Danielson beat it. Maybe he beat Nigel's. There you go. Punk is calling spots right now in Samoa Joe's ear.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So he's calling the match. I don't mind it. They work well.
So I was wrong. I was wrong, by the way.
It's Nigel?
Well, I don't know about that. We can assess that in a minute. The first Ring of Honor World Champion was Low-Ki.
I don't mind that either. Low-Ki was always one of my favorites. He's still in the independent scene.
Nope, I was right, though. Samoa Joe is the longest reigning. He is the longest running at a total of 645 days.
What was Nigel's?
Naito?
Nigel McGuinness. What was his reign?
Nigel. Okay, hold on.
I always thought it was Nigel. Until he had like back
Nigel
concussion.
McGuinness was close. He was 545 days.
All right.
That's still impressive, though.
Yeah. Nigel, Desmond Wolf, whatever you want to call him.
You can call him anything because no matter what you're calling him talented.
I just need him to call more. I guess my problem with him tonight is just to call a little. I don't think he's comfortable tonight. I don't know why. Maybe he's a little rusty.
So
I just need him to call more spots. I need him to call more spots.
So here's a good one. Another follow-up one. Who has held the Ring of Honor? I know that I already knew this answer. I don't even need to look this up. But who has held the Ring of Honor Championship, World Championship, the most amount of times?
Jay Lethal? Adam Cole. 3 times.
3 times.
I don't know why I said Jay Lethal. Maybe because he held it for so long.
Jay Lethal is a 2
But
time.
Jay Lethal held the television title, I know, for like the longest, right? He had a long 2-year streak or something like that.
Well, Jay Lethal has had 2 reigns.
Adam Cole, I remember Adam Cole because he won it the 3rd time, and then he got shitted on by the Bucks and Marty Scurll, and he got whatever.
Yeah. He was the first and only, thus far, only world. See, they're showing this, and I'm glad. That was a creative finish to that match. Does anyone want to see that? I mean, like, I know that it's like, oh man, it's never been done before, but does anyone actually want to see Jericho and Sting?
No, not me.
20 years ago, absolutely, I would have killed to see Jericho and Sting. Now, not so much.
See, I wasn't sold on Jay White doing his moves. Like, it didn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for the crowd. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't presented well.
I don't think he was. Here's the thing. If you look at a lot of these other stars, they've been presented when they come into AEW as, here's what he did over there. This is what he's done in this company. This is what he's done in this. Adam Cole, they talked about what he did in NXT. Like, Jay White was just, he showed up one night.
That's the thing. Let's say you're from Texas and I'm from Kentucky. And you know everything about Jay White because you watch New Japan. And us Kentucky people, we don't even get New Japan. We just get WWE or AEW. How am I going to take some guy that I'm going to think is a mid-card seriously? I'm not, because I wasn't introduced, just like I wasn't introduced to the Heritage Cup, which I give 2 shits about. They don't introduce things to us, and
Jay,
everybody gets lost in the shuffle.
I agree with you, but I got a question for you. I want to show you something and see if you remember it, okay? This was the game. This was the one I was talking about.
Well, I think it's better than what I played WrestleMania. Which one was the one that was like, I think Kurt Angle was on the cut. It was like 18 or 19. That was bad too. I think it was 19. Was it 19 for GameCube? I hated that fucking game. You know which one I'm talking about?
I don't know, but I'm listening.
No, it was a WrestleMania game for GameCube. I think it was 19. I had that one.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm looking.
See, look, Jay White just got the tag, doing some kicks, comes chops right into Dax.
Well, first of all, the other one that everyone says is really good, right? No, wait, that's not the right one. Sorry,
that's not it.
Oh, this is the one you're talking about that we don't talk about.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I had.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It was terrible. Here's the other one that everyone says is the other one you talk about when you talk about the best one. You ready?
Yeah.
Here Comes the Pain was so good.
Best one.
To this day, my gaming the other community I'm part of, the gaming community, to this day, we still have arguments over which one was better, No Mercy or Here Comes the Pain. And it's like, that is a debate that will go to the end of time, probably. Roll up, 1, 2, kick out.
Don't forget, Japan has their share of wrestling games as just as fire as No Mercy.
The only thing I don't like about the wrestling games from Japan, I'm used to it, but it's hard to get my friends into like those kind of games because it has a very steep learning curve.
Well, that and maybe everything is in Japan. They can't understand shit.
No, that doesn't bother them at all.
That don't bother me.
It don't bother me none. I'm an anime watcher, dude.
I always had imported games. So I was like, all right.
I'm a big anime watcher, so you ain't going to hear me complaining. Oh, look, CM Punk with his horrible, god-awful...
See, I think AEW will be like the first wrestling game in a long time that I would buy the first day. Like, holy shit. The only games I ever bought first day wrestling, like first day, was WCW, NWO, Revenge, and No Mercy.
I bought my very first wrestling game, which was also the first one I bought day one, was actually the original SmackDown versus Raw, which was a really good game. And then I went back and played the older ones. But yeah, no, I mean, very few of them do I buy day one anymore.
Exactly. I didn't even buy a WWE 2K23 first day.
Golly, you know what's horrible?
I was like,
You know what's horrible? Look at this one right here. You ready? Look. You know what's horrible at this? That is more exposure than Scott
never
Steiner.
played that one.
That is more exposure than Scott Steiner got in his entire WWE career.
I never played that one ever.
I
don't dare to. That one was pretty good.
First one I ever played.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah. But no, I was more laughing about the fact that it's like that right there, that cover. That was more exposure than Scott Steiner got his entire WWE run. They dropped the ball.
It was his fault, by the way.
Huh?
It was his fault that he got the run he had, by the way.
Why is that?
Stepped on the wrong toes, man. That, when you're working with somebody that's a top star in Triple H and you're just coming from a down south company that shut down and got bought by Vince McMahon, you can't call your shots like you're a big-time star. Like, it's not going to happen.
I've read that, and I've heard that his body was kind of giving him some issues at that time.
Yeah, but he didn't really want to work the way Hunter wanted to work. Oh.
And I've always
you're just coming from a company that got out of business. Like, we're putting you in this spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be grateful, take your opportunity, but don't bed.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I'm one of those people who looks at it and I'm like, you don't put the championship necessarily on, like don't get me wrong, Roman is a big draw now. And yes, they put the championship on him. Yes, he really only defends it at pay-per-views. But even when he's not defending it on pay-per-view, if he's on a show, we're watching. That's who should be champion, is somebody who is a big name, a big draw. For AEW, it's MJF. For WWE, it's Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. It's, to me, like somebody said this, they're like, well, when Braun Breaker beats Rollins for the world title, I'm like, that would be a bad decision.
Not happen.
No. I think it'll be a great match, but I don't think he'll win. I will say though, I do like Jay's ring attire. The switchblade on one side and the other's like completely.
Nobody knows that. Look at the crowd; they're just sitting there. Nobody knows that. That's what I'm saying. They didn't establish him really well when he debuted.
Well, here's the problem. I agree with you, but here's the problem. You ready? It's Chicago. Chicago will be like, oh, CM Punk, he's in the match. That's all we care about.
It could be anywhere. Even when he did that run-in on his debut, there was no pop. Everybody was like, who's that? I knew who he was.
Yeah, I don't think they spent enough time explaining who he was.
Yeah, well, that and Bullet Club Gold, like, what the F is it? But I think you're right. Collision to me, it hasn't been established.
So you want to hear something?
Go ahead.
Sorry. You want to hear something kind of interesting, Jay?
Go ahead.
So Samoa Joe's run in Ring of Honor, 645 days, longest run, right? But if you go with combined total days, Jay Lethal actually is at 707. So combined total, Jay Lethal is actually higher than Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe just has the highest one of like consecutive. So that is interesting to me to know that they classified Joe as the longest reigning, but yet Jay actually has more days.
Yeah, Jay had him for a long. He had the television for a long time. He was on fire at one point. I forgot who his manager was.
Plus, I mean, you look at the handspring cutter. That's not really all that flashy or impressive.
Who was his manager?
Truth Martini.
Jay Martini. There you go. That was pretty good. I like that.
It was.
It was really good.
Hold on, I'll be back in just a minute.
So your thing right now, Punk is in the ring again with Samoa Joe, but once again, we're not seeing any action. We're just seeing tease. And that's what I've been calling this whole time. He's just going to get a hot tag, and he's just going to come and do his thing. But I have not been impressed with AEW Collision, folks. I mean, to me, it looks like a update version of Rampage. The stars haven't been established well. I always said you need another star power with Punk. I don't see it. I know what Punk is trying to do. He likes these three guys he's versing. One he had history with. Two are really upcoming stars. JY has been well established in New Japan, but not in the States. And Juice had been established down south in Florida and Japan, and now back in the States. I think has the most potential to become a star moving in Collision if you're going to move forward with it, Punk being the creative. But overall, we just see Juice take the back suplex, JY get the hot tag. Will Punk finally get the hot tag in from Cash? Inches away. He got the hot tag. Here comes Punk, stumble a little bit. Punches to Juice. Wait a minute. Body slam on Jay. Body slam on Juice. Looks like he's playing a little safe tonight, except for that move. There goes that heel kick. Neck breaker on Juice. Here comes Jay going for his own neck breaker. Counter. Punk with his own. Not the smoothest, but okay. I could see why they're playing safe with him. Well, he's playing safe with himself. Here comes the running knees on the corners on Juice and then one on Jay. Follow up with the Bulldog Lariat. Bullet Club Gold is down.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Little taunting here from Punk. Are we going to see the guest that we haven't seen in 10 months? Is it coming on Jay? Picks him up. Breaks the eyes. Are we calling spots or are we raking eyes? Look like a call spot.
We're hoping that CM Punk doesn't get the pin on Jay White because that'll bury any chance of momentum for him.
He's playing it safe. He's doing body slams and lariats. So he's playing it very safe. He did one heel.
Ooh! Thank you, Juice Robinson, pulling that out and dropping it. Although, actually, here's the thing.
Are we about to see something crazy? No. Juice is the man. I told you. Juice has it all.
Hit him with that Blade Runner. Hit him with Blade
Runner.
Hit
hit him with the blade?
Oh. It's Blade Runner.
I can't say Blade Runner, just Blade. Wait a minute. No.
Here we go. Let's see what we got here. He's doing his finger taunt thing, setting him up, going for Blade Runner. He reverses. Pepsi twist. How in the world that used to be his finisher? Just that crappy little, I'm going to twist and then hit you with a lariat. It's like, wrestling has come a long, long way.
Doing his thing, though. But he's playing it very safe tonight. You could tell.
He is, but I mean, I'm not necessarily sure that's a bad thing.
No, it's not, because let's be honest, he doesn't have to do shit.
No, he doesn't.
He got everybody like you, me, Savage, Gilch, everybody from Tantalizing Tony, Anthony Graves, all the podcasters, all of you, he got us all watching this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It is shit. I don't think this is a great six-man, but it's very entertaining.
It's not a very good six-man.
It's not. But is it entertaining? Yeah, I'm entertained. Look, Lee's about to fall on himself. Jesus. I don't know. It's just, you see, I don't like that. I didn't like that at all.
What?
I don't like that. I don't like that breakup.
When they have it be like five guys on top of each other?
Look, you see Dax calling spots as he's rolling over.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So sloppy. I don't like that. You know why? Because Dax was just waiting for Juice. Like, here, hit me, roll me over right now. No, I don't like that. It's not smooth. And Dax is calling Punk for spots. It looked like Punk is forgetting a little bit.
Well, he is.
I don't like Joe's punches. They look weak. Gotta hit harder than that.
Well, that's because Joe has... This happened recently, actually. Joe, on an indie show, he accidentally punched somebody so hard that it broke his jaw, and Joe felt really bad about it, so I'm sure he's kind of like, oh, crap, I don't want to do that again. There's that Shining Wizard.
So he feels bad, but he's going to, probably do a muscle buster in this guy?
Oh! Yes! Go clean a clutch. Do it. Do it. No, here comes Dax Harwood. Yes! Go, Jay! Go!
I think I see people standing because they want to go home. Like, is it over?
Pass out.
It was just the perfect heel pass. Always need a good pass. Ooh, what a move. I'm still shocked on watching this live, folks.
I don't know. This hasn't been that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's not smooth either.
It's not, but I mean,
it really isn't. There's too much.
It's easy for us as commentators to say that. It's another thing completely.
I hate to say this, but I'd rather watch an elite 6-man tag match because even though they call spots, it's a little smoother.
Go to sleep on Juice Robinson. 1,
Shadow Machine.
2, 3.
Here we go. Oh my God, that was so bad. I can't watch this.
Yeah, that was one of the worst looking go to sleeps I've ever seen.
Like, was the knee not extending to his face, or? So if I'm the Young Bucks and I'm Omega, I'm laughing at this because I don't need to worry about this guy whatsoever. I would just leave it alone.
In fact,
if I was them, I would leave it alone, laugh, and call it a night. Like, fuck that.
You know what they should do on Dynamite? They should be like, they should mention the fact that they call him the counterfeit Bucks, and they should be like, but you know what? At least people actually cheer for our matches.
Yeah, Travis, I hate to say this because, even though you diss my fucking girl every fucking time and I have to fight with your ass and fucking
You're welcome.
Get you, man. Fuck that. But overall, I gotta say, I think you're right. And this is like a updated Rampage that I think it's going to get a lot of people hard to get eyeballs to watch Saturday Night Live, at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no way.
I'm not impressed tonight. I'm really not.
I'll say this. The best match of the night, no question, was Andrade versus Buddy Matthews. And the thing is, that's like...
I will give
that
it
was
to
almost... That was almost like a... That was almost kind of like a... How do I put it the right way? It was like a, okay, here's a great match to keep you entertained until the main event. The main event rolls around, and you're like, but wait a minute. Why was the... Like... I'm gonna put it this way.
Oh, go ahead.
Here, let me see if you agree with me.
Go ahead, shoot.
It's like the equivalency of what happens when you go to see Pink Floyd. There's the crappy little stage musician on there, and you're like, oh yeah, well this isn't Pink Floyd. But then what happens is you get to the actual thing, and you're like, man, Pink Floyd sucked tonight. That guy at the beginning was better than him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even disagree. I mean, you called it the way it was, and you know what? I know they're in Canada next Saturday, but just because you're in Canada, I don't want to watch it. I don't think there's a match that you're going to get me to watch it. If you're going to hear from CM Punk, I could hear it the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And look at what they had to do. Even I think look at what they said. Well, was it? I missed the graphic. So was it Dynamite that's going to be the 3-man tag with Chris Jericho, or was that?
Yeah, it was Dynamite.
Okay, it was Dynamite, which I still think is from Canada, but it's like,
no, I think they're in Chicago. this Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're in Chicago. No, Wednesday and Friday they're in Chicago, and then I guess Friday night they're going to Canada.
Look, at this rate, here's what I think, and I'm not going to say, oh, this was terrible, this was unwatchable. I'm not going to say that, but I will say this: it further proved what me and you and even Savage have been saying, which is, guys, if you're going to do this, you have to cut Rampage. You can't have this and Rampage going at the same time. It's not going to work.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean,
just not. And it's not like I'm like, oh, I hate.
But the thing I don't like is like he comes out with a belt you don't even see in a red bag. He has this match, but there's no. Okay, so what does that mean? Like in general, like what are you?
Was that what that was in that red bag? I thought it was his manhood.
It could be both, because I really thought that GTS looked like pure shit tonight, but. Did you hear
the other night when he was talking about something? And he said, I have to run things by AJ Lee, and I thought, man, on live television, you just admitted that your wife could at any time go, no, you're done. I don't want you doing this anymore, and you would do it. I'm like, now, on the one hand, I think that's good. I think that decisions should be made together. But I do not think that AJ Lee, who has not competed in a ring in, 6 years, should get to determine the career of somebody who's active. Now, I will say this. Hey, I have a friend who was like, well, if you hate CM Punk that much, why are you still getting the AEW Fight Ever video game? He's going to be in it. He is. And I am going to hit every single finisher in the game on him. Every single one.
So just because we hate someone doesn't mean we're going to stop buying the product. I mean, you could hit CM Punk with a bunch of chair shots all you like June 29th. But, I think everybody besides us.
The thing. I'm not buying it solely for that. I want to play
I know.
I want to play as Andrade. I want to play as Malachi.
Right.
Some people, but here's the thing. Let's just say your only reason for buying AEW Fight Forever is because you want to hit CM Punk in the head with steel chairs. AEW goes, well, great, we still got your money. They don't care about what your reasons for buying the game is. They're just like, we care that you bought the game. And that's the same thing with CM Punk. Say what you want. Like, I honestly believe this. I think that when Collision, and I do think this, I think that when Collision comes to a town other than Chicago, I think we're going to hear boos for CM Punk because a lot of other places don't like him. But here's the thing. Whether you're going to cheer CM Punk or you're going to boo CM Punk, AEW doesn't care. They got your money for that ticket. That's all they care about.
Well, AEW got exposed tonight in my eyes. I feel that this makes Tony Khan really look bad, if you think about it. There has been no resolution on both sides. You could purely tell. I thought it was awesome that Punk got his even shot from all the silliness that the Bucks and Omega did when they made fun of him in the ring and did all those parodies. So I think it's a fair game on both sides. I don't think you need to continue it, but it tells me a lot about Tony Khan and what kind of man he is and the company he's running. He's not running it great. And you know what? There's times when even though these people got egos and these people got egos, you have to put your big boy pants on and you have to put your foot down and be like, look, Bucks, look, Omega, this guy's a money draw. If you can't work with this guy, then you know what? Take a hike, do whatever, do what you got to do. You know, and the same goes for Punk. Hey, Punk, I know you got an attitude, but you got to suck it up. You got to talk to
see, and I think it's this way, too.
None of that from Tony Khan. He's the boss. He's the president. He's the booker. He's the owner. He's everything.
Let me ask you something, Jay. Do you think it's possible that the whole CM Punk tried to reach out, the lawyers wouldn't let him? Now, I'm not saying that he didn't try and reach out, but the lawyers wouldn't let them talk. Like, I think that's a work.
You know why I think he reached out? Because when Dax and Wheeler had their podcast, he said they were like, yeah, like he really wants to do this. He's been reaching out. I think he did reach out, and I think they got stopped. I think the guys were like, nah, maybe it was bad timing, and the guys were like, nah, you know what, we don't want to talk right now. I get it, but he did try to reach out, man. I don't think he's lying about anything. He's not.
Well, here's what I think, and I'm not saying that I'm like the smartest person in the world. I'm not saying that, okay? But I think that it's possible that they are going to make it seem like the two of them tried to make, patch up bridges. They wouldn't say this, better that, all this. Like, here's the thing. As bad as he booked this, would we be upset if we saw, it's weird this is going to sound, Tony Khan turn heel and basically be like, yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't let the fans have that because I wanted to control what the fans do or don't like and all this stuff. Like, I could see that working for him because at this rate, people are already mad at Tony Khan because they're like, dude, make a good decision for once.
I don't think we learned anything tonight, for the fact that we're in this guy's hometown for the next week. We're not going to learn nothing. I think we'll get our ultimate test possibly if he shows up next Saturday in Canada or, like you say, another state on the Wednesday after that. But is he even going to show up in Dynamite? Hell no. I think he's just a Collision guy for now, just for now, and until we get some clarification of, are we going to put him in heel? Are we going to put him face? Where does he stand?
Yeah,
how
and is it possible?
Roster
is it possible?
How they view Punk? Like, I don't think a lot of answers have been solved tonight.
Do you think it's possible that the reason they're doing this the way that is like they don't know what they're going to do with him yet? They're like, well, we're going to do something.
Yeah, it's for all the reasons that I just said. We're not going to get our answer Wednesday. We're not going to get it Friday. If he shows up Saturday, hey, maybe we'll get a little reaction, something different. But it's Canada, so I'm not so sure. You know what I mean? I want to see him in a state, whether it's Florida, your state, my state, whatever it is, to see what kind of real live reaction I'm going to get.
Like, here's the thing. CM Punk used to be, and he used to be, before any of this shit went down, he was booed in the state of Texas. So my thought is, after all this stuff, he's going to be even more booed. So the question we're going to have then is, can CM Punk go, well, I'm supposed to be a babyface, but I'm getting booed, so, I've got to do a good thing here for this? Or is he going to go, but I'm supposed to be a face. I'm supposed to be loved. Because for whatever reason, CM Punk is one of those guys who, I'm sorry to say this because there are some people who are going to hate hearing me say this, but CM Punk is one of those guys who, like, I don't remember if it was Moxley or Hangman who said it. Somebody did. But somebody said that when things don't go the way CM Punk wants, what he does is he goes and he runs and he whines and he complains. And that is accurate. That is what he does. So the thing is, are we going to see CM? This will be what will really tell me something about Punk, and I want to see this. Okay, if he goes to a state and he gets booed out of the building, is he going to go and whine on social media and they were supposed to be cheering for me? Everybody should feel bad for me because of what the Bucks did. Or is he going to own up and be like, okay, in this state I wasn't cheered and I'll be cheering in another state? The thing that I have is, here's the thing. What CM Punk needs to do is not reach out and, hey guys, let's find a settlement. What can we agree on? No, it needs to be CM Punk reaches out and says, I was wrong. You're my boss. If you tell me to do something, I do it.
He did that. I was reading some articles today on that ESPN interview. He did apologize to Tony Khan and the way he handled everything. And
He didn't apologize to the.
But we got to watch it. You know, it's one thing to read about it, then whenever that comes out, I don't know, but it is documented. I've been reading.
But did he apologize to the Bucks? Did he apologize to Omega?
Well, that's what I told you. Like, he tried to reach out, but the lawyers stopped. I'm not gonna say he reached out a second, third, fourth time, but he reached out that one time, and they weren't ready to talk. And now, what he said tonight, they're not gonna be ready to talk. It just looks bad. Like, you know what? If I'm WWE, I'm just laughing right now because I don't have to deal with a CM Punk. I don't have to deal with that. And I don't have to deal with competition because this owner can't even handle his roster. He can't even handle his stars. Can't even handle his EVPs, for God's sake. Whatever they say, he gives it to them. So,
have you ever watched, or do you ever watch the show called Dark Side of the Ring?
It depends on who is it. I know Savage be like watching it lively every week, but I only watch the people like Alexa, Luger, and all those types.
What this reminds me of is kind of almost the episode they're talking about, and I don't remember who the name of the guy was, but it was
Tell me. I'll tell you if I watched it.
Hold on. That was his name. His name was Herb Abrams.
Nah, I didn't watch that.
Okay. He was a guy who started up another company, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to be a competitor to WWE. We're going to knock WWE out of the ring." He's like, "For our first show, we've got Andre the Giant. For our first show, we've got Ultimate Warrior. All these things," and it looked promising. And then the first show rolled around, and two of the stars didn't show up. He didn't remove them from the card. He didn't go, "Hey, these guys aren't going to be here. Here's your money back if you came to see them." It was, no, they're bigger names, so you came to see them. And the problem I'm seeing is Tony Khan is the same thing. Like, he was a guy who saw this and went, "Hey, guys, I could run a wrestling company. I could give WWE competition. I have the money for it." You do, but that doesn't mean you have the business sense for it.
One of the worst things, sorry to cut you off, but one of the worst things that Tony Khan ever lost was Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes has a mind for the business. I know he has Dustin Rhodes over there, which is also a great mind, but I felt like Cody was more of the modern mind and what you need, and everybody listens to him. You look at how MJF came. Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston.
I can tell you right now, I honestly believe this.
I think that was a major loss for Tony Khan, and after that, he just didn't know what to do.
I agree, and I really believe this, Jay. I'll see if you agree, disagree. I think that if Cody Rhodes was still there, I don't think all this drama with Punk and the Bucks would have happened, because I think Cody would have been able to get in between them and been like, "Guys, both of you are having issues. Go cool off."
And it's so unfortunate that he's somewhere else and he hears about it. And I know he had probably phone calls and texts that we won't know about, but it's just crazy. Like, damn, I can't even do a goddamn thing. I can't even go here. I can't even go there. And I know I could get it resolved. I just have to be in the background like shit, man. I can't believe something that I built is come down to this now.
Well,
there's a new show coming out on Saturdays. Like,
here's one of the questions I don't get, and I really don't, okay? CM Punk goes, "I've tried to reach out to them." And the Bucks say, "Well, we're okay with if CM Punk tries to reach out to us and mend fences." And Tony Khan's going, no, the lawyers say don't reach out to each other. Why are y'all listening to him on this? You haven't listened to him on anything else. Why are you choosing to listen to him on this one thing?
Yeah, it doesn't, you have to, it's, how can I explain this? You have to I can't even say that because I'm drinking. You have to basically separate yourself from being friends with certain wrestlers and doing business with EVPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have that same relationship on both ends. It's just not going to work. And I don't think they separated that in his mind. And when he lost a great mind like Cody, which I believe everybody in that roster, I don't care if you're a sky blue or you could be the biggest green in the world, they listen to Cody. You know,
because Cody gave off the presence of like, hey, this dude knows what he's doing.
When you listen to 3 people talking in your ears, or maybe more that we don't know behind the scenes, you know, you get lost in the shuffle. And you know, if you listen to, I gotta say the EVPs, right? If you listen to the EVPs and just tell you yada 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 yada, you're harming not only them, you know, with certain fans, right? Because not everybody's an elite fan, right? You're harming the CM Punk fans because now you're creating some sort of toxic poison gas out there, and you're splitting your biggest draw in the whole company that you loved when you had him as a toy. And now look, we're at this.
Like, you weren't on earlier when I said this. It was just me and Savage. But I said, in all seriousness, jokes aside, not the whole, you know, he'll slip and fall and break his neck. All jokes aside.
No jokes.
Huh?
No, go ahead. Yeah, no jokes. Go ahead.
All jokes aside. Like, okay, here's how I feel about the whole CM Punk thing here, okay? I'm okay with Punk being back on one condition. Come out to the ring, speak your mind, speak your promo, give your, you know, the boys in the back don't respect me and I'm going to earn the respect or whatever. Any of that shit, I'm fine with that. Here's what I'm not okay with. Keep your personal and political opinions to yourself. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't watch wrestling to have to hear some idiot that I don't respect their opinion. Oh, well, I'm going to force you to listen to it, or I'm going to wear a stupid T-shirt and I will never forgive Punk for this. I will not forgive Punk for. But when he wore that T-shirt out that said that had a picture of a woman's ovaries on it, and it said "Get your own," then you can decide to do what to do with it. I don't care if you agree with that or not. That is classless. That is not.
I don't even remember that.
Well, it stuck out to me because I remember it being, I was thinking, that is tacky, that is classless. I am a person who goes, I don't care what his opinion is on the matter, stick to the ring. I pay you, let's say I pay $100 for a seat. I'm probably not ever going to, but let's say I do. I pay that $100 to watch in-ring competition. I was partially raised, mom, but also my grandmother. My grandmother's always had a very strong point in my life, and she always said that you keep your personal opinions to yourself. You don't bring that into the workplace. If you want to then go home and go, man, those EVPs are so fucking stupid, AJ Lee. Why am I in this company? This is so stupid. Why am I dealing with this? Okay, fine. I don't mind that. But don't air your dirty laundry on television. I'm not paying you for that. And I think that's what the whole problem with the brawl out thing is. It's like, in today's day and age, there is no, you know, if you're doing something in public, it's going to be seen on the internet. And I don't think, let's be clear on this, as much as I don't like CM Punk, I don't think the brawl out situation helped anyone. I think it hurt the Bucks too. I think it hurt Omega as well, because instead of seeing this as somebody who went, hey, I'm going to have a problem with you. We have a problem with each other. Let's go to our boss, or let's go to MJF, or let's go to a mediator and get this situated out. It's like little kids on the playground who can't figure this out. And the problem is this. End of the day, I love CM Punk. I hate CM Punk. I love the Young Bucks. I hate the Young Bucks. Here's what we can all agree on here, okay? Tony Khan should have been the one mediating, making sure it did not go this far, and he's too much of a pussy to do it. He needs to freaking toughen up. You cannot be the owner of a company and go, I'm too scared of my employees to stand up to them and tell them, y'all need to get this shit squashed. He needs to grow some balls and quit letting the wrestlers determine what he does. Did you see the most recent MJF media scrum?
The one with the pickles?
Although I do love that one. This is a fucking pickle, isn't it? This is a good fucking pickle. Like, I love that one. But no, he was talking about this, and he goes, he said, Tony, I am running out of competition in this. He goes, who are you going to put in front of me? He goes, CM Punk is gone. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are dealing with the Blackpool Combat Club. Who are you going to put in front of me for competition? And Tony's like, well, maybe we'll bring in someone from an outside promotion, trying to set up Forbidden Door. And instead, MJF looks at him and goes, are you telling me you actually have so little control over your promotion that you can't tell me this is who my next opponent is going to be? You have to go, maybe it's somebody from another company. He literally said, he's like, Tony, you've got to get... And I think partially part of it was heel work and part of it was him trying to be serious. But he's like, Tony, you have got to get your head out of your ass. You are the boss. Start acting like it. And I'm like, I think the smartest thing he could do, he's not going to do it, but the smart thing he could do is listen to MJF on this regard, because he is right. Tony Khan, you're the boss. Stop letting the employees control what you do.
I will say this. Now that CM Punk cut that whole segment, that pipe bomb.
Mm-hmm. If you can call it that, it was more like a pipe.
I'm the Bucks and I'm Omega. The contract is coming up. If you didn't know, it's been posted on Wrestling Inc. and all those websites. Their contracts are coming up, and they have not re-signed or anything. If I was them and I just heard this tonight, this is a way out. I would be like, if I was the Bucks, look, Omega wants to stay, that's fine. I could see that. But if I'm the Bucks, this is our way out. Like, hey, look, Omega? Our friend is there. We're going to get a nice package. Shit, we don't even mind if we stay in NXT for a little bit. They're going to pay us main roster money. Or we can pay Cody. Set. We'll be the greatest tag team. We'll be this. We'll be in WrestleMania. Or our dreams will be accomplished. I could see the Bucks just peace.
So like, Omega has already said that his agreement is going to come down to a really simple thing. If WWE wants him, the Bucks go with him. If AEW wants him, the Bucks stay with him. He
can't leave with them, unfortunately. You know why? Because he's been injured, and I'm sure he has days on him that he has to make up for than the Bucks. So I don't see him leaving right with the Bucks.
Supposedly Kenny and his lawyer are trying to find a legal loophole, and can we exploit this? And blah, blah.
I don't think there's a way around that, though. But look at Andrade, for God's sakes. Look at everybody that was injured that came back.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at especially Andrade. Look at Andrade. I really do believe this. Because Andrade was like, I didn't know I was going to be part of Collision. They just announced me all of a sudden. Oh, right. I'm part of Collision. Great. All that. I really believe that Andrade's going to ride out his contract, and then he's like, fuck y'all. I'm out of here. I'm going back to WWE.
And do they have one contract or do they have two? Because they're EVPs, right? So which contract is coming up? The EVP contract or the wrestler contract?
And that's a good point. That's a good point. Which one is coming up? Which one is going to...
We don't know.
Run out first, because if it's the EVP, then they can leave completely.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm the Bucks, this is a way out. Well, from what I heard tonight, we can actually tell Tony, you know what? Yeah, it's been a cool run, la la la, but we gotta go our own ways, blah la la. You know, WWE would love to. They're not even gonna try to get the Bucks, but they would love the Bucks to just shoot a text message like, hey, you got any space down there for us?
Well, because here's the thing. If the Young Bucks, say, send a text or whatever, if they send something to Triple H saying, hey, do you have space for us down there? His response in that text is going to be, I will make space for you.
It worked for Chelsea Green, right?
Yeah,
All she
look
did
at
was
that.
a
And I mean,
text.
look
All she
at
did was
what they've
a
done
text.
with Chelsea Green since she's come back. She's done nothing, and
I didn't even know that. Like, to get her job back, she said, I'm just going to reach out. And she said a text. And he's like, oh, I've been meaning to hit you up. I've been so busy. Yeah, we would love you to come down here. If Matt Cardona did that, everybody else shit. But I think that Matt Cardona is a little more vicious size, with the whole name, ownership and all that. So it's a little more.
Matt Cardona, here's the thing. Even though he is kind of, abrasive and all that thing, I think he's actually enjoying his time on the Indies. I think it's kind of being a refresher for him. Do I think he goes back to WWE at some point? Yes, absolutely I do. But I think that for the moment, he's kind of like, you know what? This is kind of a palate cleanser. I don't want to rush back into it until I'm ready for it. And I think that it's a smart move on his part. I think it's going to keep him from getting there to WWE, getting burnt out again, and being like, you know what, I'm out of here again. Y'all still don't appreciate me.
Listen.
I think, well, and here's the thing, like, I had somebody say this today. Now, first of all, I'll disagree with him, the guy who was saying this, because he said, he goes, Andrade he was a mid-carder in WWE. He was a mid-carder in mid-carder in AEW. Like, right. At some point, you have to just wake up and realize that Andrade is just a mid-carder, period. And I'm like, now that I don't agree with. I think that booked correctly, Andrade could easily become somebody that we go, oh, this guy's really, really good. Let's do something with him. But the reality of the matter is that Vince had no idea what to do with Andrade because he'd never even seen him because NXT was Hunter's baby at the time. So the thing to me is this. Do a lot of these people wait for their contracts to run out, say, I'm not renewing this, reach out to WWE. WWE goes, sure, we want you back now that Hunter's in charge of creative. Like, look at this. Had Hunter taken over creative before people were released / left, I don't think Adam Cole ever would have gone to AEW because Hunter would have been like, hey, man, you don't want to cut your hair? Cool. You don't want to be Keith Lee's manager? Cool. You want to come up to the main roster and you think at some point you might even be a world champion? Cool. Because Hunter saw what everyone else saw in NXT Adam Cole, a world champion. Vince, though, saw him and went, well, he's good on the microphone, so let's just have him be a manager. Because, and this is really the thing. Vince has run, well, first of all, he's getting older, and we all know your judgment starts to go. But here's the thing. He has run a business successfully for long enough that he thinks, well, I know the winning formula. I don't ever need to change this. The problem is, it's not the 90s anymore, bro. You can't run your industry the same way you did in the 90s. And if you are, it's not going to work. I remember I was watching an interview, which keep in mind, I don't care for Vince Russo. Never have. But I was watching an interview he was talking about, and he goes, we were trying to talk about, how is this guy going to debut, and, what's his gimmick going to be, and all this. And he goes, and Jim Cornette tells me, well, we should have him come out of a giant box, because when somebody comes out of the giant box, that's a guaranteed star right there. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? I don't like you, Russo, but I agree with you on this. Dude, that crap may have worked in the 80s. You're talking about 2000. You want me to believe that, oh, he emerged from a giant box, so he's something special? And look, and here's the thing, even under Triple H creative, some things worry me. Like, here's the thing. Look at Karrion Kross. What in the world is going on with this? He is booked so inconsistently. Last night, he beats Mia Chin and AJ Styles or whatever. And tonight, and then tomorrow, next week, they'll go, okay, well, now you're going to lose to Drew Gulak or whatever. It's like, you can't book him as a monster and then book him as he's losing to mid-carders. You got to pick one or the other. And what's bothering me the most, I think, about Tony Khan as opposed to Triple H goes, okay, this guy goes in this role, this fits in this role. Like, look, Baron Corbin going back to NXT, brilliant move. Love it. He wasn't getting over on the main roster. He wasn't getting the run he deserved. Let's send him to NXT. Here's the problem. Tony Khan goes, this guy isn't getting a push. This guy isn't getting what, I wanted him to be. So let's just keep trying. Something will stick on it. Like, look at Miro. Look at Miro tonight, right? You're telling me a guy as big, as powerful, as dangerous as Miro, and we both said, well, this is going to be a squash match. Did you see that was the longest squash match I've ever seen. That was a 10-minute squash match, and I'm like, if it's a squash match,
why is it 10 minutes? It shouldn't.
Right, if it's a squash match, it can't take more than 2 minutes at most. 2 minutes. Because if it goes longer than 2 minutes, I start to question, well, could it be that Tony... And I did this tonight. I started to question. I was like, oh, could it be that Miro came back, but they're going to give the win to Tony Nese? Now, obviously, they're not going to give the win to Tony Nese. But you start to question that. A squash match has to be fast. As much as I don't like Goldberg, I will give credit to where credit is due. Goldberg was always booked correctly in that if he went up against someone, it was a victory in like a minute to a minute and a half, or he lost. And that was because Goldberg knew he couldn't work long matches. Miro is a big guy who needs to be booked as a monster, and you made it look like he was having trouble beating Tony Nese, who has yet to win a match in AEW. Like, how does this help? Had it been what I said, he came out and he squashed him in like 5-10 seconds, you could have been like, oh, cool, this is how they start to rebuild Miro as a monster. Taking 10 minutes to beat Tony Nese makes him look like he's weak. It did nothing to help either one of them. And it's just...
I agree, and I think next Saturday you're gonna have a hard time getting me to watch, especially if Ricky Starks is going this whole Owen Hart tournament and I'm supposed to watch it. I'm not. I'll watch it the next day, and that's the thing I've been telling you guys. I think you're gonna see the ratings are gonna go through the roof tomorrow. You're gonna hear about it. Oh my God, it's crazy, and then it's just gonna fade away like Stardust.
It's gonna be the same thing AEW always is.
And then to the point you're not even going to watch it, and then we're going to be on the show be like, hey, Jay, you didn't see Collision? I was like, nah, I didn't see it.
I'm going to be like this. Hey, Jay.
Oh, I'm mute.
I'm going to be like this. Hey, Jay, did you see Collision? No, I didn't. Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
I just watched it today because I was actually available. I was like, you know what? Let me see what's going on with this. Then I saw it. I was like, okay. And then...
Well, the conversation is good. I enjoy the back and forth. I enjoy the conversation. I will say this. The two things that they did right. So they did two things right. They did two things, well, more than two things wrong, but they did two things right in my book. The first, the way they took the title off of Wardlow protects Wardlow from a... he got beat by Luchasaurus, and it makes him still look strong.
Okay, agreed.
To where they could do it later. And while I did not like the whole after the match, them getting involved, blah, blah, blah crap, the match itself of Andrade versus Buddy Matthews, that was a great match. I want to see more matches like that level of quality. Because the problem I'm having is, other than and I'm asking this,
right.
Other than MJF and the Elite, so I'm not going to say, Matt Hardy, blah, 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 all that. Other than MJF, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page, who puts on good matches right now?
Just Kenny Omega.
Well, I said Kenny Omega in that list, I think. Maybe. My point was the Elite.
Hold on. Let me think. Say it one more time. I have a little.
Okay. So other than MJF,
okay,
the Elite, and we'll even say Adam Cole, who has good? Well, sorry, and obviously Jericho, who is having good matches in AEW right now. The reality is, it's like look at Ricky Starks and Jay White. This should be a banger feud, and instead I'm like, can we please let this end? Can he please move on to something else?
I can't even think of one person, to be honest. I can't even think of anybody. If you take all those stars out,
and that's the
Warlord, not even Warlord.
Here's the thing, and this is the thing that we're having with a lot. Me and my friends have been discussing this thing a lot. We've been talking about it from a theological standpoint, an economic standpoint, just in general. Here's the thing. All these guys, all these stars, they're established. They're good, right? But if you spend all your time focusing on these current stars and not building up the next generation, when it's time that the next generation has to take the reins, they won't know what to do. They'll be like,
yeah, we see it tonight. I gotta watch that Warlord match, but I mean, that's a problem. He could have been a star, but
what? Also, another thing, like the vignettes are wildly inconsistent. You gave us no vignettes, just a run-in for Jay White, but Scorpio Sky, who did, don't get me wrong, I like Scorpio Sky, but I don't know if he would say he's as big a deal as, say, Jay White is. I don't know if you would or wouldn't. That's up for debate. But Scorpio Sky is getting vignettes, but Jay White didn't. It's like you got to be consistent. Either take the time to build up somebody or don't.
And they won't. That's the problem.
AEW just, I would like to see it get better, but man, it is just a shit show right now.
All I'm saying is I like the beginning. I don't know if I like the Elton John hit song, but whatever.
I mean, I like Elton John.
I guess it'll grow to me. But I think the commentary was on point. I think JR had an accident, something with his eye or something like that. He fell. But I do like Nigel. I do like Kevin Kelly. I thought Kevin Kelly shined way more than Nigel. I think Nigel was just maybe rusty or he wasn't really prepared.
They were both good, but yeah, Kevin Kelly
stole the show tonight, period. The announcer, the ring announcer, I'm not really feeling. I don't really see anything there. The whole layout, I like it. It looks all right. It was cool. The ring ramp and all that. Everything else, I haven't enjoyed. Okay, you could say Andrade, buddy, match of the night.
Even when you,
but I didn't really enjoy it.
Even the ring ramp, right?
Right.
In the background, as it kept showing that circle with the exclamation point warning in front of it, I'm like, is this because somebody's about to debut? Is this going to be because somebody is on their way? It's like, it's a very confusing thing, and I'm like, why are you...
I think there's going to be a lot of people tomorrow or tonight, from podcasters to real wrestler journalists, and they're going to just tear everything apart. They're going to be not seeing anything new. Just about Punk talking trash. Of course, you know what and it's a back and forth shit. That's what's going to... You know what's sad? And I'll do it because I know I got to get out of here soon, but you know what's sad? That everybody's going to talk about that promo, but they're not going to talk about the match you love, this match, that, Miro back, Scorpios. Nobody's going to talk about that. All they're going to talk about is this drama that's still continuing, and that's bad. And that's really bad.
You know why? It's because as much as people may not like, and I don't care, like I said, I told you earlier, I'm not a big Vince Russo fan. But when he was like, with the Attitude Era, he was like, I noticed the biggest thing on TV at the time was the Jerry Springer show. So I was like, let's bring the drama of the Jerry Springer. Drama sells, but here's the problem with this whole drama thing. At some point, there has to be a payoff. If we don't ever get if we don't ever get an Elite versus CM Punk match, it's all for nothing. Like, why are you letting this drama continue if it's not building up to something?
Oh, it certainly continue tonight. So
I just look at it, and here's the problem I have. Tony Khan is a pussy. He won't stand up. He won't go, okay, guys, enough of this. You can't keep doing this kind of crap. And the thing is this. If Tony Khan isn't willing to do this, hire somebody who is. You're telling me with all that money you have, you can't hire somebody who can keep these guys under control?
He did. He walked away because it was too chaotic. William Regal.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, and also he wanted to be with his son, but that's a whole nother story. But I can't fault Willie for that.
That's just part of it. I'm pretty sure that's just part of it.
I'm sure it was, but you know what? I can't fault William Regal for that. But here's the thing. William Regal is not the only person who can do that. There are other people in this business. You want to hear something crazy? As much as he's done in his career and he's a bona fide legend and all that, I believe Christian could be that person, but I think that he's probably smart and he's going, I'm not doing this unless Tony's giving me a raise to deal with this shit.
The thing is that it's been so long. He trained the greats, and that's the thing that Christian hasn't done. When you train the greats of Austin, Triple H, man, of course you can respect someone. That's a great mind in the business that you're rarely gonna see, man.
But who did that?
He could get away with anything, really. He go to AEW, he go wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody will respect him, and anything that he says,
Here's another one.
Everybody will listen. What do you say? Go ahead, Regal. What did you say? Okay, I'm listening.
Here's another crazy one, and maybe he's just an insane person who just doesn't have anything going, and I don't know, but here's another one for you. Are you telling me that with the matches he had, the pedigree he has, the legacy he has, you couldn't, like, ask Arn Anderson to be that guy? I bet you people would listen to Arn Anderson.
Okay.
Take the Snake Roberts.
But whose idea is to have Arn Anderson manage now? We got rid of that. Whose idea was it to bring back? I think they brought him back because Wardlow, like I said, has been struggling. They thought Christian Cage would put him over or make him look good, and it didn't happen in the pay-per-view, unfortunately. And they were like, you know what? We got to get the belt off this guy. We got to work with him behind the scenes to repackage him somewhat. And they took him off the belt tonight. I didn't watch that match, but as soon as I get out, I am going to watch that match. But
it's too little, too late. It's too little, too late for Wardlow.
It's a little too late for Miro. It's a little too late for everybody, I think. To be honest.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing I have. Like, wow. So this took a very weird. Okay, so
I don't know what that means, but okay.
You've never heard of that game, Marry Kill? So you have to pick. So in this game, what you have to do is there's Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus. You have to pick one to marry and one to kill. It's the game. I'm not saying we're going to play it. I'm saying that's how the game's played. Although I will answer for mine. So mine would be Tori. Marry probably Trish because deep down she's a really nice person. Kill. I never cared for Stacy Keibler. I don't know why. She was never for me. And people have these things they have. I had a friend who had the biggest crush on Sable, and I just never got why. Never got.
No, Mick. I do not have a haircut. This is
he still got that same. Obviously, I have some sort of military training haircut.
Hair. Same Damian Priest hair, just not long.
It looks like a military haircut.
Nah, it's just a fade. It's just growing, so I haven't cut my hair in like a week.
The thing is this. Everybody's going to have people they like, people they don't like. The thing is this. You have to capitalize on it correctly. Like and this is one of the things I've always liked about him as a businessman. Both Brock and Paul. No. It's with that list you just gave me. I'll tell you this, okay?
Game,
it's kill, give a hug to Eric Bischoff, kill Vince Russo. So kill Jim Cornette, hug to Eric Bischoff, kill Vince Russo. I don't like anyone in that list other than Eric Bischoff, and I am absolutely not going to kiss
Nick, I'm everywhere. I'm on this channel. I'm on Tantalizing Tony's channel because
he's what they call
Savage,
omnipotent.
And I'm telling you right now, Wrestling with Savage, so Savage could watch the replay. Tony was calling you out, bro. He's saying he's gonna hit the gym. He's saying he wants to defend that YouTube TV belt. You need to take it, man. He's ready for you, Savage. So listen to me. I was there. I was talking to the guy. He's ready for your challenge, man. So with that being said, shout out to Tony. Shout out to Anthony Gray. Shout out to everybody that's on the chat here.
Daily Pool, I'm going to say this with respect, but man up. Dude, I am a man, but I'm a straight man. So why are you trying to ask me to kiss, marry, kill, whatever, Vince Russo and Jim Cornette? That is a very bad thing. Now, if we're talking about like who would I want to work with, Eric Bischoff. That's the only one of those I would have any interest in working with. Jim Cornette is still stuck in the 80s where everything was territories. He'll say things like, it's so good that the territories are gone, but the territories should be around. It's like, that man is insane. And Vince Russo I wouldn't want to work with because the man has literally admitted this. He said this on one of his podcast shows that I watched because I talk with him sometimes about stuff other than just pro wrestling. But in one of his podcasts, he started out, he said, man, you want to talk about your mother, you want to talk about the pizza I like, where I go to eat. He goes, any of these things are fine. He goes, you know what I don't want to talk about? Well, I'll answer that in just a second.
That's simple. That's Darby Allin, 100%.
Oh, I disagree completely.
Oh, no.
You know why?
Why? How you disagree?
No, look at what the question is.
Who will you tell everyone is the what?
Oh, no. You, Mick
in
Thomason,
order?
Oh,
in order.
Help me, God, Mick Thomason.
Okay.
You got to stop saying things incorrectly. You, yesterday, when we were watching, or I guess Thursday, when we were watching Impact, I said that I thought Will Ospreay was the greatest high flyer today, in the business today. I said, who do you think is better? You doing it today. I said that. I said, who do you think is better? And you responded with, well, Brian Pillman or Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero and Brian Pillman are dead. They're not doing it today.
I say Darby, Dominic, Hook,
You think
Jungle
Darby
Boy,
has a
Sammy.
You think Darby has a brighter future than Dominic Mysterio?
Right now, yes. No mercy. I know you like the heat. I know he gets a lot of heat and everything. I just don't see it in the ring. Sorry.
No, I'm just more thinking
Darby's more talented.
I'm more thinking about the fact of like I'm trying to think about.
You can't even cut a promo if the fans weren't even booing. Come on, admit it.
Yeah,
You heard him in the face promos with his father for like a year. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of seeing what you're saying now. I do think Dominic has a good future in front of him.
That's why I put him number 2. I don't put him number 1.
So let's go with this list here, okay? Here's the thing. Here, let's just go through this, okay? I sound nothing like Jim Cornette. My voice is not anywhere near as deep as him.
Kenny Olivier.
Besides, here's the thing. You're also not going to ever hear me say, well, Kenny Omega being the biggest disgrace to wrestling. Like Jim Cornette's
Twinkle Toes, Kenny Olivier.
he's just so. When he says that stuff about Omega, I just want to reach through the screen and be like, Jim.
It's funny because when you see it, he's always like running. It's like twinkle, like it's like the Flintstones where they go.
The thing is this. Let's go through the breakdown of this list. I'm actually Daily Pull. I think I'm going to pull this up because I think this is actually good. This is a good question. So here's the thing. First of all, well, good. You should have subbed already, Daily Pull. You should say awesomeness because we're awesomeness. Me, Jay, you haven't even seen Savage yet. If you'd seen Savage, then you'd be like, oh man, I'm definitely subbing. But here's the thing. Okay, so Sammy Guevara, the problem I have with this is they're trying to do this, oh, well, maybe we'll turn him face thing. Here's the problem. He's too hateable.
He's the perfect heel, so
the fans have already made up their mind. Even if they try and turn him face, they're like, no, he's a heel. You keep him as a heel.
I just think he's a pure heel, not a face.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he can make it as a face. I think that he's too established as a heel. He needs to stay a heel. Darby Allin, I think, has a great career on a condition. With all those high-flying stunts he does and stuff, I'm worried. Well, okay, Daily Pull, you get a pass then. You're subbing now, so that's what matters. So here's the thing. Darby Allin, I think, has a very bright future on the condition that he doesn't get injured a lot. Because
he barely does.
He even admits this. He said Jeff Hardy is one of his heroes. Well, Jeff Hardy got injured a lot. So, Jungle Boy, honestly, Jungle Boy, if they were going to pull the trigger on Jungle Boy, they would have done it already.
Yeah,
Hook,
he's not
the longer they take with Hook to have him say anything more than just, yep, okay. But the longer they take with that, the more I start to wonder, I start to wonder, is it because Tony Khan doesn't have faith in his promo abilities? Does he not think that he can handle it? And that's why he's not letting him speak. Because here's the thing. Well, maybe he's green and he doesn't know how to. His father could teach him. You're talking about Taz, one of the best shit talkers in the business. This man is a legend when it comes to the shit talking. And you're telling me that with him training him, you don't think he's taught him how to shit talk? Trust me, he's taught him.
Yeah, he has.
There
you go. He's agreeing with you.
Take the piss. I mean, I don't know what that means, but okay. Dominic Mysterio. I think Dominic Mysterio has a really bright future in front of him. I think the fact that he's been able to adjust to this heel role so well in so little time is very telling. I think that in some point in time, they may turn him back to a face, and I think he'll probably adjust to it. I don't think they should do it anytime soon. I'm talking like maybe five years down the road or so. But, I mean, if a person just stays face or heel the whole time, we all know.
Finn Balor fan here.
Yeah. So first of all, too sweet. I'm actually a huge Finn Balor fan. Or, well, let me rephrase that. I'm a huge Prince Devitt fan. I don't like what they've been doing with Balor since he came back. Like I said before, Balor... No, absolutely not. I am not going to answer. No. I can give you 3 people off the top of my head who are more best in the world right now than CM Punk. 3
people, folks. 3 people.
Off the top of my head. And some of these are going to be, one of these is going to be a big name and then 2 aren't. 1, Kenny Omega is better than him. 2, Zack Sabre Jr. is better than him. And 3, and yes, I will fight you on this, Jay. Will Ospreay is better than CM Punk. Better than current CM Punk. Top of his game, that's another story. But current CM Punk, the CM Punk we saw tonight, that man is definitely not the best in the world.
Damn.
He was sloppy tonight.
Yes, he was, and that GTS was pure shit tonight.
Yeah, that GTS looked terrible.
Damn.
That was so bad. That GTS was so bad that you know what I wanted to say about it? I look at his GTS. First thing that popped in my mind, you know what it was? Can we get Kenta in here to teach you how to do a GTS? Because Kenta does the GTS better than what I saw tonight.
Kenta should be nowhere near the CM Punk right now. Not after tonight, but damn, people. Ooh, it's a lot of people, man. You could put Cody up there.
And should we be more upset about that, Daily Pool? Should we be mad about the fact that he had months to get into shape and look great?
You shouldn't even have expectations like he was going to be in great shape. There was nothing about that. He was injured. He wasn't even probably working out. Probably sitting on his ass.
I have made this joke, but I have this poster. I have this posted on one of my screens. Nick Thomason, you disagree with us just because it's just what you do. That's part of our gimmick. We say something and you disagree.
Nick, he didn't look good tonight. CM Punk only looked good in the first 15 minutes, but that was it.
I said when he came back that I thought this was going to be a bad idea. And I'll tell you the reason why I said I thought CM Punk coming back, period, was a bad idea. Because at some point, you go, it was okay. That's not as good as I remember him being in WWE. It's not as good as I remember him being in Ring of Honor. At some point, that nostalgia wears off. For the first month, you're like, yeah, CM Punk is back. And then the nostalgia wears off, and you're like, he's not as good as I remember him being. And the thing is, any wrestler, the longer they do this, even Chris Jericho, who, let's be honest here, is one of, if not the GOAT. Even Jericho, the longer he does this, the longer we have to wonder, is this going to put his legacy at risk? Now, with Jericho, Undertaker, people like this, probably not. They've done it for so long that, honestly, he could probably lose to everyone on this locker room, and it wouldn't diminish his legacy. And that's why I actually was one of the few people that actually liked that he lost to Action Andretti, because I thought it was, okay, this is Jericho going, I'm a legend, I can help put over a younger talent. But
you're absolutely right. Just reading this whole comment here, I totally disagree. Kenny is not better than Kurt Angle in his prime.
No. And have you heard? Well, hold on. Did you hear? Because this is part of that article.
I heard Kenny say, Kurt Angle, it was better than me for sure.
Yeah, he said Kurt Angle. He said in a match in their prime, you Kenny Omega in your prime, Kurt Angle in his prime. Who wins? He said, now this is going to be a hell of a match. He said, I'd love to step in the ring with Kurt Angle in his prime. He goes, but I'll take that L, and I will gladly take that L. Because he said, Kurt, and he this is Kenny Omega's own words. He said, I think Kurt was the absolute best technician to ever do it. Now, on this podcast, I'm about to say something that WWE would be very unhappy if I heard me say this, okay?
That.
Now, knowing I'm not a big fan of CM Punk. I'm fine with it.
I'm a big fan of Punk.
Jay's a huge CM Punk fan. I'm not a CM Punk fan at all.
Nick knows you, man. Nick doesn't like you.
So, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm going to Daily Pool. Here's the thing. Had we known the shit we do now about CTEs, had we been able to get him help earlier, if he'd not ended the horrible way he did, do I think Chris Benoit could have been on par with a Kurt Angle? Absolutely, I do. But I think that...
You got a fan.
You're not a Chris Benoit fan?
No, I said you got a fan in Dally.
Oh, I got a fan. Okay, so here's the thing, and I want to know this, Jay, genuinely, if you think this. Because I'm a person who believes separate the performer from the person, right? Chris Benoit, the performer, absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Chris Benoit, the person, does not. But does that mean that Chris Benoit, because of what he did, it invalidates everything he did in that ring? I say no. But I know WWE would want me saying yes. But
I say yes because the whole thing was, well, two things. WWE jumped the gun way too fast without knowing what really happened with Chris Benoit. They started doing, if you remember that whole tribute show, and everybody was cutting videos for like 2 hours of their memories with him, and then the whole crying thing at the end. And then you had to take superstars as John Cena, Chris Jericho, Bret the Hitman Hart on Larry King to try to justify and explain to themselves, hey, yeah, we celebrate this man's life, but it's not right. And then they had to talk about CTEs and all that. They had to basically cover their own asses, and it really looked bad as a presentation of the company. It just looked bad in general. Because now you have your top stars trying to just cover this all up. I don't know if you ever saw that interview, though.
I did. I saw the interview and I saw the tribute show. And what was very telling to me watching it back, because remember, I was born in 1990, didn't start watching until about 2010. So, probably after the whole Chris Benoit thing. But here's the thing. It was very telling to me watching that interview. A lot of them are, Chris Benoit, he was so inspirational, all that. It gets to William Regal, and he says, all I'm going to say is Chris Benoit was one of the hardest working men in this business. That's all he said. I'm like, something's not right. I'm like, when that's all the person's willing to say, there's...
Because it's personal feelings, right? Mixed with business. And it's hard. And WWE... Look, how would WWE look? They did a tribute. Then they have to take their top stars that they trust to cover their asses, right? And talk about this whole CTE. Was it CTE? Was it not? What really happened?
It was.
And then all of a sudden, 5 to 10 years later, you want to put a mass murderer that murdered, the family, not for, for like what, a whole weekend? You know what I mean? You can't automatically do that. And I could see why they don't talk about it. It looks bad. It's like they're going backwards. Going backwards in a bad way.
Yeah. So first of all, let me say this. I will agree with you. The only person I would say is near Kurt's level, I'll agree, Brock. But that's because Brock and Kurt trained together a lot. For those of you who don't know, Brock also trained with Matt Morgan, who was another TNA star that I never understood how he wasn't a bigger thing, because he reminded me of a combination of the two. But
he had his chance.
But here's the thing. I was watching a video today, and it was talking about like top 10 wrestlers that you would have thought would have been huge in WWE, but somehow they dropped the ball. And the one that they said that always surprises me to this day. Ready, Jay? I'm gonna go old school on you. You ready for this? Chris Masters. Look at that dude. Built like a freaking brick house. Had a great gimmick in the Masterpiece. He had one of the most protected finishers of all time in the Master Lock. Yes, he had some personal demons, and that's a bad thing. But I don't truly believe that WWE tries hard enough to get these people help, because, look at what the Jeff Hardy situation. They told him, well, if you're not interested in getting clean, then you can go work somewhere else.
Or maybe they didn't want help. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe they did, and
it's possible.
They were like, yeah, you know what? We'll think about it. Yeah. And they never took it.
It's possible. And look, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily saying that. My point is this. As powerful as Vince McMahon is, if he really was against what Chris Masters was doing or something, he could have called up TNA and said, "Hey, don't hire this guy. He's, got issues and all this." I don't know who that is.
We appreciate you watching, Dally.
I'm so glad you're watching it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the first thing about golf, but
we appreciate you. Can't even see it because my camera's off.
Disrepair WCW. Those guys, the greatest half owners. Look at today's stuff. I don't know. Mick, sometimes I swear I think you're typing stuff in without ever proofreading it.
He knows what he's talking. You should be off the rails sometimes. That's my boy Mick.
I mean, I like you, Mick. You're a great guy, but man, sometimes like last night or Impact night, Thursday, when you legitimately tried to argue with me and be like, well, how can you say Will Ospreay is greater than Eddie Guerrero? I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying today, Eddie Guerrero is dead. He can't be doing it today. Now, who is the greatest high flyer of all time? Yeah, you're going to be hard pressed to get me to say anyone other than Eddie. But the thing is this. If you look consistently at TNA, AEW, Impact, WWE, they all have one common flaw in problem. One common thing, which is that at the end of the day, if the management is not stepping up, because there was a period in time in WWE when the management was not stepping up. They're better now. But if the management is not stepping up, I think that's supposed to be would dunk on him, but I don't know. But I will agree with you. Yeah, Eddie would trounce Will, but again, Eddie's not doing it today. So, anyways, if the management does not step up, it's like a kid. If the wrestlers think, "Ooh, I got away with this. So what if I can get away with this? And then what if I got away with both of those things? So now I can get away with the third thing." They're just going to keep pushing. At some point, the management has to stop them and say, no more. You can't keep pushing. You can't keep getting what you want. If they don't, you're going to have a bigger problem than the Kenny Omega and CM Punk thing, because the Kenny Omega and CM Punk thing ended peacefully. As weird as, well, not peacefully, but it could have been far worse. I don't know how many of y'all are old enough to remember this. Jay, you probably are. But you remember what happened with the Bruiser Brody situation? That thing spiraled out of control so fast. They were arguing in the ring. They got back. They were arguing in the locker room. This is how we said it was going to end. This is how it should. He walked into the bathroom with a knife and he stabbed Bruiser Brody to death. Even though I hate what happened with CM Punk and with the Elite, that ended with a fisticuffs brawl. What happens the next time when Tony can't control this and somebody goes, you know what, I don't like the fact, I'm just going to throw two people out there, okay? Miro goes, I don't like the fact that Ruby Soho insulted my wife, so I'm going to get a gun and I'm going to shoot her. What happens if Tony is going, I'm just going to let this work out. I'm just going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs and hope it works out. He literally, the signs, I don't know about the Elite and CM Punk thing.
All right.
We can talk about that one later.
I think he just created this whole show for Punk. Hey, look, man, you're going to be in charge. You're going to be in creative. We got your boy Ace Steel. He's going to be the producer. He's also going to be creative with you. You don't have to worry about Kenny. You don't have to worry about the Elite till we're ready to all talk with the lawyers aside. But in the meantime, this is your playground. You could do whatever. You could work with whoever.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure they gave him the whole 9. Plus, I'm pretty sure he's making $5 million a year. Always has been. I don't think he's getting lower than that. So, I mean, it's the perfect situation. I think we all been duped. I think we all thought it was going to be a brand split because that's what we were watching. And let's face it, there's no brand split in WWE anymore. They did just say for TV. But I thought we were all thinking that. And in reality, it's just his playground. This is his playground. Of course, he's going to get the win tonight. Of course, he's going to start off tonight. Everybody was paying attention to him tonight, and that's what it is. Are we going to pay attention the week and the week after? No, we're not.
And if that's true, if I'm not sure that I'm still not sure it's a good thing, because here's the thing.
All right. Go ahead, make it quick. I got to go, but I'll listen to your final thought.
Well, no, I was just going to say, you give Punk all this control, which I'm not even saying is necessarily is wrong, but it's to a certain degree, does it now look like to even further than what's already going on? If let's say I'm Buddy Matthews, which I'm not, obviously, but let's say I'm Buddy Matthews, and I see him go, well, here's this whole new show, and it's themed around CM Punk. Like, what's going to keep me from looking at that situation and going, so you couldn't control CM Punk, he got in fight, and now you're going to give him a whole nother show because instead of trying to work this out and deal with it, you go, well, I'll just put him over here and I'll put him over here, and somehow that'll make the tensions go away. That won't make the tensions go away. Distance does not make anger dissipate. That is a common
maybe it's temporary till the lawyers are out of it. And Dalipo, I know it's 4:30 over there. We appreciate you, brother. But Jay gotta go. I'm sure Travis gotta go. But this is me saying
something. Oh no, I ain't got nothing to do ever.
Travis probably gonna continue, but me,
actually, I am gonna go because I gotta
check us out. Dalipo every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're here every single day. So now that you subscribe, you definitely know what time we're in. And we appreciate you, brother. And Mick, we always appreciate you, brother. We always appreciate you.
And so
love all you guys in the chat.
So, and I'm just going to wrap this up, and then
go ahead.
So, to explain to Dalipool, so Monday nights we have a review, basically of SmackDown or Raw after it's over. NXT again after it's over. Raw after it's over.
You said Raw again. Dynamite. It's Raw, NXT.
You know why? Because I'm wanting to replace Dynamite with a watchable show.
Well, go ahead. Dynamite,
anyways, Impact is a live watch-along. I'm the one who covers that on Thursday nights. Sometimes Jay comes on, sometimes he doesn't.
Come on.
Friday night, we do SmackDown live watch-along. And Savage is going to look at this and let us know about, well, I got to get some sleep too, Dalipool. Believe it or not, it's almost midnight here. But anyways, so I'm sure Savage is going to look at this and let us know, hey, here's what I think, and if we're going to cover it live or not. So
it's better shit. I put Dean Malenko in WCW days.
Yeah. I'll agree with you, Dean Malenko.
That's just better than Scorpio Sky.
You know who else?
Give me a Dean Malenko. Well,
he said too cold Scorpio, not Scorpio Sky. But okay.
A Joker?
I'll give you another one. You know who was another one? Perry Saturn.
Agreed. But
Juventud
me
Guerrero.
Signing off. I truly have to go, but
yeah, I have to go.
Travis,
we start talking about WCW, I'll be here all night.
I know. Nick, love you, love everybody. Dalipool, thank you for subscribing. Travis,
yes, thank you, Dalipool, for the subscribe. You guys have a good one, brother. And I'm gonna play the video, and then we're out.
Peace out.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
your role. Hey! Hey! Stop.
WWF, no mercy. Stop. WWF, no mercy.